What is going on, guys? EverGrow Love, The Bard, Simon, Drake, Zelda, good to see you. Will, Hersan, Alaska Moose Dog, Jack, good to see you. CF. What else we got? Ed Hopkins, good to see you too, man. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Just about 2 o'clock. I'll give it a minute or so for other people to join in. Damien, good to see you, man. Montana Mindset, good to see you too. Hope Dragon Tears is doing well. And we got Adam H, good to see you too. Thanks for sharing your time coming over from Discord. Hope you guys are having a great day. Danny, good to see you. Hyperbeam, good to see you too, man. Hope that quesadilla was nice and delicious with a little side of whatever it was, barbecue sauce, I think you said, or something else. Libby, good to see you too. Dawn, how are you? Yeah, we got the pug here too. Habibi. Will, what else we got in here today? We got Mike Sabini. Good to see you, man. I think it's been a minute since you've been in here last. All right. Dragon Tears, good to see you too. Your ears must have been burning. Moon, give me 1 second. Moon, how you doing, man? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Right on. Give you a minute to get your speaker connected. EverGrow Love.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Moon?
Doing good. How's everybody?
I'm doing fantastic. Let's see how everybody's doing in the crowd here. Thumbs up if you're doing great. All right. There we go. There comes the thumbs up. Good.
There you go.
Yeah. Optic. What else we got here? On the go crypto, man. Keep doing those videos. Good job. Taxi Man. We got Clinton here too. Jordovic. You got a lot of people in here, which is great. CK, good to see you too. And there is Rocket. I'm gonna bring on Rocket up here too. Everyone love. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, doing good. Now that inventory's over and I can actually sit down for a change, doing wonderful.
Now you get to get breath, huh?
Yeah, I sitting there thinking, okay, they're going to bring us into this early access about the time inventory starts. Yep, pretty much nailed that dead on.
Right on. Rocket, what's going on? You got another busy day, I'm sure.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's going on with you?
Just working. Fun never stops.
Yeah, what you been working on lately? I'm just kind of curious.
I don't know. Little thing called LunaSky,
Something. Oh, LunaSky. That's right. Yes.
that old thing.
Right on. I gotta give. Let's see if I can give Cody the mic here. Right on. Cody's up here too. How are you doing, Cody?
Hey, Steve. Doing really well, thanks. How are you? Oh, no.
Oh, it's a little choppy, but I can hear you.
Oh, my goodness. How about now?
I think you're okay.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Like, oh, you're always okay.
How-
You're clear.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, it's been a busy week. Had an unexpected day off yesterday, but it worked out pretty good because I got to do more planning.
Yeah. I heard something about work. I don't know what that is. What is work?
I don't know. We
Work is that thing you do for money that it doesn't necessarily make you happy.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Oh, well, yeah. Work.
So what's new in your world
Oh, just work.
besides being like up to your neck in LunaSky?
Yeah, that's about it. That's my whole life right now. It has been for a long time, and that's cool. And I'm smiling while I say this because I do mean that. Yeah, just really busy with prepping for this thing to come out. Going good.
Awesome. Prasan, how you doing?
Good. I have a question about
What's new in your world?
NFT. Can you turn a book into NFT? And if yes, how does it work? Because if you make the book and I buy it and somebody else wants to buy it, do you get like another copy or just one for forever?
That's a great question. So a book is, kind of a different, you think of it like a PDF, right? how would that? Because it's not just one page like a typical NFT that you see. I don't know how that works, honestly. That's a good question. Does any of the speakers up here have an answer for that?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you're trying to do with the book, right? So are you giving a license to distribute? Are you giving a license to read? Like, what are you trying to achieve by making an NFT?
Well, I guess the license to read it, like like when you put a book in Amazon, you want people to read it, and 20 people buy it more. But in NFT, as far as I know, it's like one time, one thing, and then that picture resell and resell, but you still are the owner. So I don't know if in a book works the same way.
So it does work the same way in that, I mean, really, like in an NFT, the image, anyone can view the image, right? Anyone can save the image, download it. It's not really the image that's the NFT. It's um, it's the chain of custody. It's the digital representation of that image is what the NFT is. So for the book, if you wanted to give access to read a book, you could use the NFT as a token gate. So for example, you could have either a website or a Discord where it's gated only to holders of that NFT, and that's the only place they can, access and read the book.
Okay, I'm gonna need help in the future with that from somebody, please.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's yeah. There's a few steps involved. It's not a simple thing to do, but it's doable.
You know
Did you
what's
want
funny?
to say something about
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Everglow? You had your hand up there. Were you going to respond to her song?
No, I was just going to put a suggestion with the book thing, kind of like the same thing Bandroids is doing by taking segments of something, and you have to own all 5 segments in order to make a complete, super rare, super copy. You could actually segment out that book into chapters, and you wouldn't actually have the complete book unless you were able to obtain all the chapters, and then you get a super rare for the book in its entirety. And I'm just, as a suggestion, that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool way to drive incentive to swap and trade those NFTs to get the missing chapters.
That's pretty brilliant. CK, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How's everyone doing? I just wanted to chime in quickly on that. Yeah, to EverGrow Love's point, it's like basically tokenizing a book. You can make it like fun and cool and like unlockable for the chapters, like you said. A lot of cool things you could do with it.
Luna, you were also saying something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say because last time Gerson spoke, I forget what it was, but he gave an idea where me and Rocket were just going back and forth. But it seems every time Gerson speaks, some crazy idea comes up that I never thought up until now. So what he mentioned about the book, so tokenizing the book, making, I don't know, each page an NFT, or making it, where you got to collect all of them. That's a way to address it. But I think a better way to address that I haven't seen so far in the world of NFTs is, it's not that you couldn't upload the book, but rather upload the whole book into one NFT and then have a system where it works like an ebook, where you can just, click left and right and view all the pages of the book. And there's nothing like that. That just occurred to me just now.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. Well,
that's what you were talking about, right? Right.
Primary idea, because I have an ebook, but I want to turn it into NFT. So that's why.
Well, that's a cool idea. I mean, you need to hire developers, what it sounds like. You need to get to work. You got a book on your hands.
I've thought about this before too, and Moon's right. There's not anything that essentially allows you to mint something with pages and then actually be able to scroll through them. It just doesn't work that way. So on a contract level, to Rocket's point, yeah, you could probably have somebody build it, but I've never seen one. It'd be cool. I've wondered about that.
Interesting concept. What popped into my head was, how some people will they have, let's say, plans or blueprints or of drawings of buildings and all that stuff, and you could actually individually split those up into multiple pieces, and the NFT would give you access to maybe one or all of those things. Kind of interesting concept anyway.
Now here, yeah, and I just thought about, well, there is one other way right now with existing, platforms you could do it, and essentially buy out the whole collection, right? Make a collection. You have, let's say the book has 100 pages, there's 100 mints, and you have an option to buy out the whole collection. Boom, you've just bought the whole thing. So speaking of which, that's one of my personal post-launch things I'd like to have is buy out all collections, but we can talk about that later.
Like buy an entire collection all at once?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's something I would like to integrate really quickly after launch. Me and Rocket have our lists. We'll have to compare.
Cody only wants that because he's afraid that he won't be fast enough to buy everything all.
I mean, I'm pretty fast. I don't like to boast much, guys, but I am pretty fast. And if you put something up for sale, mint, or auction, I'm probably going to get it. I'm going to try.
He is. And before we go any deeper on this, let me just say this real quick. Rocket and Cody, for everybody here, Rocket and Cody have been absolute machines. Absolute machines. I mean, I'm there. I'm an early onboarder. I see their work. I see their effort every day. They're dealing with literally dozens of us, asking them questions day and night, every day. Those two have been absolute machines, and they have all my respect, and they're doing their hardest that they can to, put LunaSky out. So I just wanted to say that.
Thanks so much. It means the world. Thank you.
I was just gonna attest to that because I'm calling Rocket at like 3 a.m. sometimes on issues. So totally thank both of you. Mad respect.
Hey, we're all family. We love y'all, and we're all family. We're all in this together. We're all in the exact same boat, and
we don't sleep.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to say. You guys don't sleep ever, so there's no point. No
I stopped
problem
sleeping 2 years ago on September 25th. Just had my 2-year anniversary of no sleep, y'all. Doing okay. Doing all right.
What's your secret?
You just got to work your ass off all the time, 24/7, no matter what, never stop. And also get a neural implant that makes you Terminator. That's about it.
He has a constant IV super hard coffee drip constantly on him.
Straight into the
jugular. At all times.
Yep,
Yes.
Straight in the jugular. Actually, no. Let's go. I think Tyson said he does this, right? What? It's spinal. Yeah.
Spinal.
All right, then, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here. I know you guys are super busy. You said something about an announcement. You want to leave that for later? Or you want to do it now, or I don't know what your schedule's like.
That's all Rocket. That's his thing. We're going to let him spill those beans.
Hold on, I heard none of that. One more time.
So I was just saying that I didn't know how busy. Well, I know how busy you guys are, but I don't know how much time you have to be on the space. So you said something about an announcement. Is it something you want to do now, or do you want to wait for a little bit? Or
yeah, we can do it now. I mean, I'm gonna do it now. Thumbs up for now. Otherwise, we'll wait.
Let's see. Take a minute I see a bunch of thumbs up. A lot of laughing. I don't see any thumbs down. That's for sure. Spill it.
Yeah, no thumbs down. All right,
Let's see. Who's on the red button? Who's on the red button?
All right. Hey, well, what I'll do, I'm on mobile, so I'll put a tweet out from the main LunaSky account. Just keep your eyes open, but carry on.
Right on. Okay, well, somebody keep an eye. If you spot it, let me know. Come up. We'll talk about it. So anyway, you guys, welcome to space number 57. You know what we do. We talk about EverGrow, LunaSky NFT Marketplace, Lucro, Atlas Wallet, but more importantly, we talk about communities, the great communities that are out there doing amazing things in DeFi, partnerships that we make and we build together. Want to welcome the LunaSky community, Space Riders, Chainarch, Sappy Seals, Doodles, Plague NFT communities, and many more. Welcome, everyone. I gave you guys a bunch of shout outs. Let's see who else is in here. Sherv and Pre-Bull Art. We got Goon here. Good to see you, Goon. What else we got here? Chassers, good to see you as always. And Noop, Hawkish. Good to see you too, man. Of course, Dawn and Optic. Trek Journey. Hope your journeys have been nice and safe and sound. Gracious. Good to see you too. Who else we got here? G00. And one more. Anthony Sanders. Good to see you, man. Oh, wait, I saw one more in here. This is the Chain Art Alchemy Protocol. Interesting. What is this? What is this Chain Art Alchemy Protocol? CK, can you fill us in?
That would be Big Shaq to discuss. That is not my. I signed an NDA. That's up to Shaq to discuss, not me.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he'll come up and talk. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I said it before and I said it again. We have the best community crypto. We're making new friends and building partnerships every single day because of it. I was worried a little while ago that things will start heating up, and I better be ready for some really, really busy spaces. I tell you what, I'm ready as ever because I'm so energized by you, the community members. You're also amazing, and I love it supporting you all. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We got a lot to cover today. So if you guys are cool with that, we'll get right into it. And if anybody spots anything on LunaSky Social, please let me know. And yeah, LunaSky news. So I wanted to cover Moon Android's Crypto Mega Series, a collection of NFTs that are coming up very, very soon on EverGrow. We also got, or on LunaSky, sorry. Let's see, we got that. We got 4 of them coming up here. One for EverGrow, one for Lucro, one for Safe Moon, and one for the Shiba Inu community. They look amazing. The Shiba Inu one is badass. I love it. I'm going to give Rocket the speaker again 1 second. Yeah, and let's see here. We also have a new community partnership with the Space Riders with the Star token. Space Rider Star is the utility token for the project, which is tied to all giveaways, official events, early access, drops, and much more. So hodl those Star tokens. Make sure you ride with the Space Riders by following their official Space Riders account. I went there in the past few days too. Very, very cool site. Love it. Of course, we have, actually, I'm hoping to have Space Riders on Future Space, hopefully next weekend. We'll see how that works out. Chadark gives a preview of their utility NFTs that will be listed on LunaSky. There'll be 3 different versions, bronze, silver, gold versions of the NFT, and they all provide various tiers of benefit, including affiliate revenue sharing, so basically passive income, lifetime no protocol fees, which is fantastic, early access to whitelist spots, and alpha. What's alpha? Does anybody know what alpha is? I thought it was pretty.
I can explain. Alpha's like whenever like a respected person in the space sees a project and like say I don't know, someone who's been around for a while and everyone respects their opinion. Say like Rocket sees a cool project and he's like, yo, check out this project. Like this could blow up. Like that would be something like alpha. But I'm gonna shut up because there's the announcement on the billboard. Let's go, baby. The frogs.
Let's have a look here. So I'm going to read it right now. Introducing Frogs on LunaSky. Please announce that we have LunaSky NFT users will be able to mint, list, make offers on any ETH ERC20 NFT in Frog. What is Frog? Utility token for frogs of the Plague NFT ecosystem. An ecosystem including multiple existing and upcoming Frog Tank projects. The soon-to-be launched Making Coffee and WhenSwap.io businesses and other future products launched from the Frog ecosystem. The only way you can get Frog is by owning and staking a frog. Very awesome. Congratulations. Welcome to the community. Thank you so much for choosing LunaSky as your community. We love you guys. And I cannot wait to support you guys. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I can. I've been part of the Plague since Mint Day 2 years ago, or whatever the hell it's been now. So if anyone has questions, I can answer to the extent of my knowledge. But I am not on the Plague team or the founder. So I can answer some questions if anyone has on the Plague, but super, super excited for the Plague to be involved. I mean, I love the Plague. I mean, I have my PFP tattooed on my leg, actually. So
that's dedication.
Yeah, I'm at Plague Maxi. So any questions anyone has, I'd be happy that I can answer. I'd be happy to.
Well,
you sound a little excited.
Just a little bit, huh? A little bullish on Frog.
I just woke up from a nap, dude. Come on, man. You gotta give me a second here.
What is this nap you speak of? What is that?
I didn't sleep last night working on that video and getting some stuff done.
Do you
And
have any more of those I can buy from you? I would like to buy 1,000 naps.
I'm about to actually upload 100 NFT naps. It's going to be on LunaSky exclusively, mintable with LCR. Interested.
They sound extremely valuable. You might want to go very high on those, Luke.
Oh, just bought them all. Sorry, y'all. They're mine. Told y'all. Fast
Right on.
AF.
Well, if you don't mind, CK, maybe just give us a rundown of the project, because I'm not crazy familiar with it.
Yeah. So I mean, I joined the space. I don't know, January 2021. I got rugged probably 10 times. I didn't know. I barely even knew what the word blockchain meant. My friends from college got me into it. And after a couple rugs, that's how trial by fire, sink or swim. That's the way the space was back then. It still kind of is, and but you take your lumps. Pons was in the space for a long time before that. He predates. I mean, he was probably in space, I think, around like 2017. He was like one of the people that like minted Bored Apes, I believe, back in the day. And he was a very, very respected thought leader in the space. Very mature, very successful IRL. And he kind of got fed up with seeing all the scams and all these founders, like these 19-year-olds, stealing like millions and millions of dollars from people that are like hard-earned money from people. So he came out with the Plague. It's inspired by the Bible story. I was a CCD teacher, so this is not good that I don't remember the exact Bible story, but the one where they had all the frogs plague like the Egyptians because they're like making the slaves build the Jewish people build the pyramids. That story.
Reminded of the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, yeah, that story. Sorry, I apologize. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Sorry. So that story. So he thought of it as like the plague of frogs is like a uniting the community and the people together to do exactly what they did in the Bible story: plague the current ecosystem and bring about change and get rid of the bad people. Kind of infiltrate it as a community, as equals, as wholes. Decentralizing opportunity is one of the main things of the plague. You could like you can't just give people money, but you could give people the opportunity to make money themselves. That's one of the core values of the plague. And then also there's like the scam busting aspect of it, where one of the parts of the plague is working together to help people recover their assets when their wallets get drained, education on security and stuff like that. So that's kind of what attracted me to them. And I kind of fell into that community, and I've been in that community ever since, and I absolutely love it. And in terms of products, if we want to talk revenue streams, Pons is a genius. He was one of the first people to migrate the contract to block Blur once Blur got rid of royalties, and make it OpenSea only. Then OpenSea kind of screwed everyone by then following Blur and getting rid of royalties. So he's always just been like a genius and ahead of the game. But during this whole time, he's a businessman, and he's been building out actual revenue generating products, not just relying on royalties, right? And those products, like mentioned, and I believe they're mentioned in the tweet, are making coffee and WenSwap. So making coffee is literally a global coffee brand that everyone that's a plague holder or plague holders benefit because that's like the OG collection, but there was like a second mint called When Utility. I think it's called the Making Coffee now. And then as a holder, you get 2 bags of wholesale coffee beans sent to you, and then you can either use the coffee, or you can start your own business and sell it to a franchise. And then you could order as much coffee as you want if you have those connections and put it in stores. Say you own a grocery store, you can start selling it there, and you'll get wholesale prices as a holder. and be able to retail it. The other options are there's different tiers. You can get a vending machine, and say you work in a factory. You could pay, I don't know how much it is, to have this when making coffee vending machine, just like super futuristic, like outside your company's office, and make passive income on that and just have it there, just like owning an ATM. And then the last part of it is, and these are the tier 4 ones. There's very few of these, but these are franchise licenses to open actual like Starbucks, except it'll be making coffee, like actual coffee shops. So you get franchise licensing. I'm not sure if they came out with the details yet, but I believe they fund the startup costs to build the coffee shop, like a real life coffee shop for you, out of these NFTs. He's been one of my mentors in the space, and kind of inspired me a lot with creating revenue behind NFTs. He's one of the few people that actually is doing it. The only other project I think that succeeded with it is Pudgy Penguins, which I'm sure you heard about recently with the plushie dolls in stores. Besides them and Ponds and the Plague, there really are no revenue generating NFTs out there. Until here's my chain arc plug, until chain arc comes out. But it's really cool. Ponds is a genius. He's someone I respect very, very highly. He's someone that's very well respected in the space, and if you just follow him and you just look at his tweets, you just learn. It's just like reading like a novel every time you read one of his tweets. If anyone's not following him, I highly recommend you follow him. He's a huge reader. He does not like TV. He's probably read every book under the sun, and he loves talking about books and novels and history. Great dude. I wish he was here right now. I don't think he is, but there's nothing bad I can say about that man.
Well, next time you come on the space, I'd like you to be a little bit more informed. Man, that was like the best rundown ever. If you say he's a solid guy, I believe you, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk to him sometime. So thank you for that. I'm really interested, super bullish on this project. I mean, I love coffee, so I'm biased, but I definitely have to check that out. Thank you for that. Really
I'm making a coffee as we speak.
Yeah, no, I didn't touch on just quickly, the When Swap, which is the other product. I'm not sure how much he's released about that, but it's pretty much a business model for other revenue generating products. I would say. I'll stop there.
So his official, is it his account? Is it Ponds? Let me have a look here real quick.
What is it? The Ponds Rocket or Ponds ETH?
His tag?
Yeah. I'll actually I'll find one of his good like
It's
really
Ponds
tweets.
_ETH.
Yeah, I'll find one of his really cool tweets so you can see what I was talking about with like the intelligence of this man.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, it sounds like a very, very cool project. And now part of LunaSky. So excited. So excited. Love seeing these projects come on. Zelda, I saw you dropped in real quick. How you doing, man?
Hey, Steve, how you all doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How things going on the dark side of LunaSky? You know, divulge any secrets before Cody can hit that button?
Not too much, but everything's been going great. I'm loving it, man. I'm absolutely loving it.
Kind of a night and day thing, huh? Compared to beta? Oh, wait, I can't say beta anymore. Sorry. I'm going to stop saying beta. It's good to have you here, man. Anything you want to talk about before we get into it?
Nah, I'm good. You know, my EverGrow pets will be live when LunaSky is live, so everybody keep a lookout for them.
You do need to. Definitely. EverGrow Love, how you doing?
Hey, I just want to say that I'm used to the old version, and that's literally the only NFT marketplace I've ever used. So I don't know anything about all the ones that we're not going to mention. But for anybody that's getting into it, the only advice I have is read through the information that's on the site first before you even try to post. Yeah, go around and look, but definitely read. And then if you still don't know, ask Rocket, ask Cody, ask any of them. Rocket was extremely helpful in helping me be, as an old person, trying to learn something new, which is difficult. Very, very helpful site. I didn't even notice Lisa until later. Very helpful. I tried to ask Lisa if I was going to win the Tesla, and she just wouldn't give me a straight answer. So, I mean, not 100%, but yeah, definitely read through the site. Don't just jump in. It's completely different. That's all I'm gonna say.
So lots of good info is what you're saying. Great. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So yeah, we talked about chain arc, of course, and we had Bandroids on the space a few weeks back. So that is another opportunity for passive income through collecting of the music-based NFTs. So kind of like I think it was EverGrow Love was saying, like when you collect each song track, basically a stem, right? And so you have guitar, drums. As you purchase each one of these NFTs, you eventually, when you have the whole collection, you can burn them all and then own that song. So the opportunity for passive income is that once you have that, they will actually help you market it and earn potentially income off of it because it can be used. The music can be used for commercials. Who knows? All kinds of you know how it is in radio broadcast, TV, whatever, movies. There's all kinds of option to earn passive income. These aren't just like cheap like songs. These are done by Grammy award winning artists. So lots of potential. Go ahead, Cody.
I'd love to. I'd love to piggyback onto that. Very passionate about Bandroids, as you all know. Steve explained it very well. For any recording and audio engineers out there, it's awesome because you have the opportunity to not only get the stem, tracks. That's just like Steve said. You can get the drum, bass, guitar, vocal, keyboard tracks once you own all 5 NFTs that make up a band. Every band is made up of 5 members. You collect all 5 NFTs. Boom. You not only will own the copywritten digital license for that track, you will also get those stem mixes. And anybody in recording and engineering loves having stem mixes to mix and edit on their own. It's a lot of fun. To Steve's point as well, once you own the license for that, the copyright, you can do whatever you want. You can go through an aggregator like DistroKid or TuneCore. I've used TuneCore for many years. What that is essentially you're paying them to upload your material as a musician or an owner of music to all of the streaming services, all of the digital online download sites. So things like iTunes and Spotify, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those things are all monetized, by the way. Anyone who has music up through an aggregator, I mean, they're collecting revenue on streaming. They're collecting revenue on, of course, downloads and sales. So there are so many opportunities for real world use cases with something like Bandroids NFTs that it's awesome, So I just had to touch on that because as a musician myself, it's definitely something I'm super duper excited about. So speaking to anyone out there that either A is a musician or is not, I mean, this isn't just for musicians, I mean, these are things that anyone can do with these types of NFTs. So it's great.
Thank you for going real deep into that because it was much more detail than I provided. Thank you. EverGrow Love, go ahead.
Yeah, just to kind of add to that, I mean, that's everything. But if you look at it, what we're doing as a whole, I want to just point out that what we're doing is bringing all these communities together, and we're giving them one place to work with each other and do this. And in return, these communities are giving your everyday normal people like myself an opportunity to get into something that we would have never had an opportunity to get into before. So the cooperation we have between the communities and the potential to actually do something This could actually literally be life changing for a good amount of people.
I agree. You know, and we've always said since the very beginning of we're going to call it the rebuilding of LunaSky, that one of the primary goals for the platform was to be a collective, to bring in communities that are not connected to each other, and then to be a springboard for those communities to launch from. And that is the primary goal. You know, this is not B&B exclusive. This is not EverGrow exclusive. I mean, this is human exclusive. We want everybody to come hang out with us. We want everybody to be a part of our family, you know? And I think we prove that every day. We even want robots. Yep, Lisa is the first actual bot there as part of the family. And, you know, we're glad to have her. Glad to have her.
You know, metaphorically, I see crypto as this sea of dangers, sharks, and, you know, and all these things out there. And once in a while, you find these good projects that are like islands in this dangerous sea. I see us as really working with those communities to bring us all together in a safe harbor kind of way where we can, you know, just work together, build together, grow together, and benefit together.
Yeah, we're all so much stronger and better off together. You know, the tribalism that exists, and that's going to exist anywhere in the world and in any space and in any type of, you know, thing. There's going to be those things. There's going to be, you know, tribalism, and there's going to be cliques and this and that. But, you know, we all know there doesn't have to be. We're at a point in 2023 in the crypto space, in the beginnings of Web3, that we can do this the right way. We being just the community, the people out there involved in Web3. So, yeah, we're all better off together at the end of the day. So there is no need to separate or segregate, you know. And I think that's awesome. And I think we actually all prove that every day. We're all here. We're all communicating. I mean, look at the folks now hanging out with us that we didn't know before. You know, Big Shaq is out there. CK. I mean, we never would have met these people if it wasn't for everybody just being open and willing to be part of the same family and keep the open door policy, I'll say. We have an open door policy. Come on in.
Absolutely. So well said. EverGrow Love, please.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a piggyback day. Just kind of on what you said with you know, we're all trying to bring everybody together as an island, and I look at it just a little bit differently. I created an image for the community a while back that Sam loved, and it was a ship. And that's the way I see what we're doing. Is we've got this giant ship that anybody can get on with us and ride, and we will take them to those islands with those communities and those opportunities and drop them off and pick up more people. And we are just an ever moving ship of possibilities, opportunities for just about anybody out there.
Somebody give this guy a round of applause. So well said. So well said. And speaking of Shaq, how you doing, Shaq?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me again. How's everyone doing today?
Doing absolutely great. Thanks for being here.
Rocket, are you here?
He is here.
Is he?
Rocket is changing a diaper, but give me a minute.
Give me a minute. This
As
poor
long as
man.
it's not his own diaper, we're good.
I've harassed this guy so hard these last few days. You guys have no idea how I mean, the marketplace is great, right? But we have some custom needs because of the way our NFTs are going to work. And I've been harassing Rocket for days, and he still hasn't blocked me. That speaks to the you know, his character. This is definitely a labor of love. I mean, there's a few people here who have access to the swap, to the marketplace now, and they're involved in the process. There's a lot of questions coming their way, and they're handling them really quickly and very well. So that's definitely a good sign. You guys were talking about the use of NFTs as books before. There is a methodology for linking the data to the smart contract. They're called dynamic NFTs. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. There is the ability, and there is a collection where if you hold an NFT and you move location, the image attached to the NFT changes according to your what country you're in. So that type of technology could be used potentially to then, I don't know, post a book where you can go through all the pages. I don't know if that was mentioned.
Those dynamic NFTs have been around for a while. They're not even that new. The first I saw of a dynamic NFT was some collection that I forget the name of, but in their collection, depending on the time of day, the background changes. So from morning to afternoon to night, which is actually really cool.
It's not new, but it's. I think we were saying this last time I was on one of your spaces, Steve, that NFTs have not really been used very well yet. They're more art projects or, just not utility focused. And so I consider the lack of usage for dynamic NFT, that type of technology, to just be an indication of how NFTs are being used now. But eventually, right, that could be useful, especially when it comes to maybe holding private documentation, that kind of stuff on NFTs. That kind of stuff is definitely useful. One thing that people might not know, the image that you see when you look at your NFT, right, that is not set in stone. If the image is, if the picture that is connected to the smart contract and the, and the particular NFT that you have, if the person storing the picture decides to change the image, well, that's what your NFT is going to look like, right? And then there's this whole argument of whether to go for IPFS type of storage for NFT images compared to just storing with a marketplace. So trusted marketplaces tend to get away with it. You guys already have a community. You've been around for 2 years, so you guys get to enjoy that level of trust. But typically when you're buying an NFT from someone, you want to make sure if you care about the image specifically or the data on that image, you might want to be careful as to whether that person retains the ability to change the image too.
I think my first experience was with that was when Rocket did some NFT experiments. This was quite a while ago, and it would change every time the NFT changed hands. I thought it was pretty fascinating. So I'm going to go ahead and before I do, Shaq, I saw the video. I don't know who put that up, but of your cross side-by-side comparison between ChainArc and PancakeSwap, and the simplicity that you guys did, just brilliant. Love it very much.
I appreciate that, man. We call it a cross-chain swap because that was the main feature, but I think, and some people on my team disagree, I think the most significant thing about our swap is that we query liquidity pools from same chain for same chain transactions too, meaning that we can deliver better pricing on, compared to PancakeSwap or Uniswap or whatever. So it's valid to use even as if you're only on one chain, because you never know. A liquidity pool, if you guys are trading only on Binance Smart Chain, there's many Binance Smart Chain dexes. You're not going to waste your time looking at all of them to get the best price. So, you should resort to using an aggregator to do that for you. So I enjoyed making that video. I messed it up a few times because I'm not used to doing videos like that, but it worked out.
Right on. CK, I'm going to bring you up, and then I'm going to bring up Mark in a minute. CK,
No, I want to touch on Shaq's point is on the back to the metadata changes. It is not widely known that the owner of the IPFS can just update your NFT, and then all of a sudden your picture changes. And if you have like a $1 billion Bored Ape, they could just change it technically. Like, obviously, it's probably not going to happen, but you don't actually own the picture. But the other point that brought me to about the in my head, the books. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, it was a big deal with like people were saying that all books going online, like the government or whoever can change the storylines, they could change the wordings in history books, they could change like the stories however they want it to be. Dynamic NFTs allow that to happen, like just like with the pictures, they could change the whole series of events in history, and next generation might not even know about it. So there is some value to static NFTs as well, because then they can't change.
I appreciate it. That brings up so many questions. But before I do, I want to welcome Mark. Mark, good to meet you. How are you doing today?
Hello?
You there? Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with everything CK said. I just wanted to touch on the dynamic NFTs. There's a project that I know of that's a friend of mine did recently, and I found out he had done a project 2+ years ago that was a dynamic NFT. So I went and picked up one just to see what it was looked like, and it was amazing. It had literally hundreds of different changes you could make to it, and that was 2 years ago. So other than that, I mean, that's just what I wanted to touch on. But I had a question about what the definition of double taxation is exactly. If Shaq maybe you can answer that.
Double taxation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, like there'll be no double taxation. I was reading the Medium articles on Monarch.
I've heard of this before. I don't know if you know anything about it.
I'm married to a tax accountant, so I'm not sure whether you're asking me this from a real world perspective of double taxation, or are we talking crypto?
Crypto was just on the swap, I guess. Support. I would assume from what I read, like Uniswap will charge you on each end of the swap. That's what I got from it, but I would just like.
Okay, this isn't a question of double taxation. So picture a situation where you want to conduct a cross-chain swap, right, from the Binance Smart Chain to Ethereum, for example. You go to PancakeSwap, you swap whatever token you have, and then you get a stable coin. Then you take that stable coin, you go to a bridge, and then you bridge to a stable coin on Ethereum. Then you go to Uniswap. I'm sorry for having to tell it this way, but that's just how it is, right? Then you go to Uniswap, and then you buy, using that stable coin, whatever token it is you wanted to buy. It's not that you're getting taxed, maliciously. It's just you're using 3 different platforms, and well, each platform has their own fees, right? That's just the way it works. It's not meant to screw anyone over, but that's just how the process works. One of the things we do is we don't really talk much about this because it's a boring topic, but especially once you start interacting with Ethereum, this becomes extremely significant. One of the things that happens in the background is gas optimization. So along the way, as your transaction is happening, one of the factors that we take into consideration, again, you would mostly see this on Ethereum, is that we take the route that also has the lowest gas fees. Even if we have to delay the transaction by a couple of seconds just to get a better quote, the system does that. So again, it's not a matter of you being taxed twice or whatever. It's just there are fees attached to performing exchanges on any blockchain, and ideally you would wish for somebody to help you pay as little as you can, right?
It sounds to me like every time you go through a middleman, there's a fee associated.
There has to be, right? Now, keep in mind that on that video where I showed that on ChainArc you had slightly better value than PancakeSwap, keep in mind that includes our fees too. So holding our NFT would mean that you'd get a little bit extra. Again, this is insignificant, right? But these fees add up, especially if you trade a lot. These values do add up. So even with our fees, we still manage to get better pricing. It's not always better pricing. Sometimes it's the same price. I don't want anyone to think that this is a selling point that we're pushing. In fact, this is just something that happened incidentally. It wasn't something we were aiming for, which is incredible. It just goes to show you how inefficient a lot of transactions are. And keep in mind, if you're using a DEX, that DEX doesn't care about getting you the best price. They have their liquidity pools, and that's what you're going to get. So it's more of a case that you want to buy a bottle of Heinz ketchup, and if you're at Walmart, well, that's the price you're going to get it for. But instead, you have a service that compares the price of the same ketchup everywhere and just delivers it to you from the cheapest place. That's really it. That's an easy way to understand it.
I hope that answers your question, Mark.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was asking it because it seemed that ChainArc had the better optimization of that scenario. That's why I was asking. It wasn't.
Thank you for that.
Answered it.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
From Web3 to ketchup, this is the future, boys.
I have a bottle of ketchup in front of me. I could have gone with, but yes, it's just this is what's in front of me. I have that and my vape fluid. I didn't think it would be appropriate to mention that, so ketchup it is.
And next week on Space 58, it'll be mustard. EverGrow Love, how you doing? Sorry to keep you waiting there, EverGrow Love. Go ahead and jump in.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just going to bring up an idea since Gerson mentioned about the book and everything, and then Shaq mentioned about the metadata or the NFT changing depending on where you were in the world. If you did an audio book, that would be cool. Because if you're in like America, you would get the audio book in, say, English. And if you went to, Mexico, you'd get it in Spanish. And that would be cool. It would see where you're at, and it would put the book in that language. That's just an idea.
I would patent that. I would not share that in space.
That is an excellent. I would not have mentioned that if I were you. I have never heard of that. That's excellent. Who said that? I'm sorry, I don't recognize the voices yet.
That's EverGrow Love, but yeah, I'm not a programmer or anything like that. Just your everyday average person. So if somebody wants to use it, like EverGrow, maybe that would be awesome, or any of the communities here. Hey, we're all in it together.
That is an excellent idea, brother.
You'll find that in these spaces, we get a lot of things going on here. This is like this giant, ruminating pot of just great ideas. So, yeah, awesome. I'm gonna bring in the LunaSky official. I don't know if that you, Rocket. I don't know if you can talk or not. All right. I did have a follow-up question. I don't know if anyone can answer this. So we were talking about NFTs that you don't necessarily have the image, right? What would theoretically happen? Let's say I find myself a really nice NFT, a Sappy Seal, or one of yours, whatever. What's to say that image wouldn't change after I bought it? So here's a fraud, right? A potential fraud, where you think you're buying something, a really high profile, expensive NFT, and what's to say that it doesn't get changed on you? CK, please.
I'll let Jack go. I can just give a quick example. This generally doesn't happen unless it's a scam or something. But the Plague did it once, and that was because they had a one of one made for a special team member who ended up deciding to leave the space and focus on his Web 2 career. So he sold the one of one, but the one of one was named his name. I don't want to say his name. It's not important, but the name of the NFT was literally his name. So no one's gonna buy an NFT called you're not gonna buy an NFT, Steve, that's called CK, right? Why would you make that your PFP? So they had to update the metadata for whoever bought it, which ended up being Mechanic who is like an OG Seals member. And then they changed the art of it, and they worked with the artist to update the art and change the name, because obviously Mechanic's name wasn't Fratty. That was the guy's name, Fratty. So that's one pro of it. I would say with Shaq. Go ahead.
It's not meant to be. So the likeliness of this happening is low for the more, for most collections. Like if a collection has value, then the owners are highly unincentivized to mess with it, because they want those royalty fees, right? It's not something that's likely to happen, but like CK said, there is utility to having that option too. This is not a risk. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. This isn't something that people should be afraid of when it comes to NFTs. But to answer your question, as for our NFTs, it's not an art project. I could literally tomorrow ask for the images to be changed to a picture of my thumb. The NFTs would do the same thing, right? It's not important what the image is, at least for our NFTs. The art NFT types, sure, that matters, but this is not something anyone should worry about, guys. It's very rare that this would happen.
I was just saying, when thumb update. I want the thumbs.
I was going to say, I challenge you to change it to a thumb.
When it would make no difference, because again, anyone getting our NFTs isn't doing so for the picture of the spinning cards. It's for what they do.
It's for the utility.
Exactly. But all right, I mean, now that you guys have expressed such passion for the picture of my thumb, we'll do a 1 of 1, and then my phone will get hacked, because I have the fingerprint scanner thing, right? And then I'll lose all my data. Everything will get hacked because I live on my phone. And then, lesson will be learned.
Right on.
Yeah, as far as I know, and this might start to get technical a little bit on this, but the actual picture that comes with any NFT can change. Yes, if the host who has that, is hosting that image, well, whether it's IPFS or not, changes that image. But the reason for that, as far as I understand it, is that happens because the image itself is not stored on the blockchain, because the blockchain doesn't have enough space to store the image.
Exactly.
What it stores is the actual non-fungible token and the attributes correlated to that token. The image itself is too big for the blockchain, and so that's why they say, when you're buying it, if you're not really buying the image, that's why. Not technically true, but I can see what what they mean by that.
It's not a big deal, is the point. Like, people shouldn't be afraid to buy an NFT if they're buying it for the image, and be afraid, I hope nobody messes with this. It's not going to happen. It's not, you must be really unlucky for that to happen to you. I don't know of anyone.
I've only ever seen that. Sorry for interrupting. I've only ever seen that twice. And both of those collections turned out to be scams, where they did change the picture. One of them changed the picture to like a middle finger on every NFT.
I'm sorry for laughing. I know it's a scam. People lose money, but that is a committed scam.
Actually happened. But there were scams, specifically scams. Other than that, I've never seen
it. Please jump in.
So I just wanted to say, the only collection I know of is the Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you look at them, it says our metadata is frozen, and it has a snowflake in the corner of the picture on whatever OpenSea or whatever platform you're looking at it on. They froze it. I don't know when they froze it. I don't know much about it. I just, I know that they did freeze it at a certain point, probably when they got to a certain dollar amount. But that's the only collection I can think of. But again, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Nothing to be afraid of.
That they do have frozen metadata.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Chompies, how you doing? Welcome to the space.
Yeah, appreciate it. I obviously supremely intrigued. I see some friends up here, and always good to hop in a room full of friends on a Saturday evening I'm on EST time. But yeah, appreciate you having me up. Our project is very entrenched, intertwined, and heavily involved with the FRG token. So the pin tweet and the recent news had me intrigued and my ears perked up. We are FRG centric. It is obviously the Plague native token. We went through the frog tank Chompies did. Came out on the other side shining. So yeah, it's been a long process. But yeah, I just kind of wanted maybe a little more information. You can stake and earn FRG through owning a Chompy. You can buy a Chompy and stake it immediately, and obviously it will kind of be within our ecosystem full force. It is something when we launched, we raised a good heavy amount of FRG, which kind of the light bulb went off, and we kind of went with that as our go-to token, not only for the gaming side, but also in a passive way you can stake and earn FRG that way. Obviously, frogs are always the top tier choice, first tier choice on buying and staking for FRG, but we kind of added it as a little bonus. But just curious if I could get maybe a little more detail possibly. I did read the pin tweet. It's obviously very detailed and gives some great insight and info as to what that might mean, but maybe someone with a little more knowledge could give me some info as to what that might mean for us per se or overall. I get it. Like I said, the breakdown on the tweet is pretty to the point. I just wanted maybe if I could get a little more detail or info from you guys, I appreciate it.
Sure, I'll hand it over to maybe Cody or Rocket if they can speak. I don't know if they can speak or not.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, there we are.
Hey there. So what it means is that FRG is going to be one of the usable tradable currencies within LunaSky. So you'll be able to mint a collection using FRG. You'll be able to make offers on any ETH NFT with FRG. Yeah, you can list any NFT in your wallet in FRG. Anything on chain.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know it's something most of the obviously plague frogs and even chompy holders, people that are deal with or that are heavily invested in FRG like myself and others within the ecosystem and community have always, been like, how do I get my FRG? How can I buy FRG? Can I buy FRG? Is it tradable? Obviously this offers maybe another and a better solution as opposed to the only other solution that there was before. But yeah, I appreciate you giving me some detail and insight on that. But we'll definitely do some more DD on it and look forward to LunaSky. I love the aesthetic. I'm a big fan of purple anyway. So you guys obviously have the look going on. It sounds like you got an awesome team involved and a dog barking in the background, which I love dogs. So kudos to that dog. But yeah, man, appreciate the time and a little bit of info, and I'll do some more digging and am excited not only for the future of the space and just this space in general, because there's a lot of really good people and builders in here, but I think we can all agree most of the people that are in the plague or invested in the plague are excited for the future, not only with making coffee, with what the plague offers, but everything kind of under the umbrella of the plague, and obviously Chompies falls kind of in that category as well. So I appreciate you all.
Yeah, I want to, if I may, just really quick, just reiterate this point to everyone. If you have a project that has a utility token, hit us up. We can totally integrate that into LunaSky, and you can use that just like LuCrow. That's exactly what LuCrow is, FRG, etc.
If you don't mind, Chompies, just I love hearing backstories, how relationships formed, how you guys partnered up. If you don't mind, could you go into maybe a little bit of detail how it all kind of evolved?
Oh, wow. That would be with me originally, the founder. My name's Josh. I was a early, I know you kind of got a little backstory on Pawns from CK there earlier, and I was a Pawns fan early on in the space just from his takes and just kind of how he handled himself, not only behind the scenes, but just in general. And obviously he launched the Plague. It was highly successful. The community, and again, this has been a while back, well over a year now. But I had started Chompies kind of out of a love, not only just wanted something kind of a core cause to drive it. And my autistic son, he's 8 years old. I wanted kind of something at my core within the project itself to kind of drive whenever maybe times might be tough. And what better than my son, who deals in battles with maybe some communication struggles and it was one of those things. I know, how does that correlate with Chompy's? Chompy started off as something else altogether and kind of grew just in recently. We launched in June, went through the frog tank process. I approached Ponds. This was back almost a year ago. Actually, it was a year ago, in August. And he's like, yeah, pitch your stuff. I pitched it to the to the committee at the time, the frog tank committee. It was a pretty arduous process, went through it, and then just kind of waited our time. Obviously, market sentiment has been bad for a while. We launched in bad market times, but through the faith and the help of the community and just through what we offered in general, we were able to build out a fully functioning mobile game within that time. And it's just been a pretty beautiful and awesome process. Not only being linked up with the Plague and kind of what they've been able to do for the space and do for our project, but taking it even further and harnessing the power of the community. And we've really made some amazing friendships and beautiful relationships from that. Some of my best friends and best people that I've met in the space are through the Plague and through that community. And some of our team members, almost all of our team members, were birthed out of the Plague. So yeah, anyway, sorry to go on a ramble there, but yeah, it started with Ponds. I think we can all agree, anybody that's within kind of linked up with the Plague, it starts with the top down. And I think that's the new meta in our space. I think active leaders, active founders, you see it with Zubik, you see it with even with Wob, you see it with different people in the space that are leading and leading by example. And I think Ponds is kind of at the forefront of that. And again, I aspire to do that as well. But yeah, we have a core cause, we have a good community. A lot of those are Plague members, and we have a fun free game. So yeah. Anyway, appreciate you even giving me the time to throw that out there.
No, I really, really appreciate it. I love the backstory and hearing everything about it and your personal story. To me, that matters a lot. So I really appreciate it. And I totally agree with you. Top down, when you have a good leader that, authentic and hardworking and represents the values that you really, really want to, you hold these people in high regard, right? And they make the right choices. They're doing the right things. They're building. It's not for personal gain. You know what I mean? So I really, really appreciate that. And
I appreciate you. Yeah, and actions speak louder than words, and I think we've all seen it. You see the projects that come and go, that promise big and deliver nothing, and then you see ones like Ponds and what we aspire and what we're trying to do, and maybe with Chain Arc and LunaSky, some of these other that are really building during tough times and producing during tough times. I think that speaks volumes, and we've all. I think you were talking about earlier. We got to stick together. The good people, the good communities, the good projects, the good founders. All of us really need to. The tribalism needs to go. We need to stick together, help each other in tough times, and that's what we're here for overall. Not just a cute, kid-friendly little PFP project. We tend and plan on being a lot more, and that's through help, and that's through community, and that's through people like you all holding these spaces, and us all coming together.
I really, really appreciate you coming to speak today. Everybody should check out the project at Chompies_NFT. Thank you so much for speaking today. EverGrow Love and CK, I don't know who was first. If you don't mind, EverGrow Love, I'll bring you up first.
Yeah, I was going to say EverGrow Love, please take the floor.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's one of the beauties of what EverGrow's doing with bringing all the communities together. He mentioned, some people don't know how to get FRG or it might be a little more difficult for them or something, or people just getting into it. That's the beauty of having Chain Arc in here is it doesn't matter, they're going to get to the point where it doesn't matter what coin or what token. You're going to be able to get it and use whatever you have and get any token you want. I mean, that's the whole, to me, as just a normal person, that's what I see Chain Arc as, is just the ability and the ease to obtain what you want with whatever you have. So us bringing these communities together, another thing that Chompy had said was that we have to, get away from the tribalism. Well, I think that what we're doing by bringing all these communities together is we are setting the bar and we are getting away from that. And when we do come out of the bear market, these communities that are built, that collaborate, that work together as one, those are going to be the big players in the next bull run.
completely agree. 100%. Yeah, build. It doesn't matter what the time is, right? Build when it's slow. Build when it's, when things were tough, and when things are good. You just keep building, right? You just keep building those relationships, keep building utilities. Whatever your core project values are, just keep working on that, and the rest will sort out itself. So CK, please.
Hey, yeah, no, thanks, EverGrow Love. I might start calling you EG Love. I don't like names with long syllables, so EG Love for the shout out. And you're 100% right. And then, I also wanted to shout out Josh. Josh is behind the Chompies account, who I met through the Plague ecosystem. He actually stayed at my house for NFT NYC. Like, the Plague's a very close knit family. So like, he's one of my good friends. And I just, from a bird's eye view, because like I understand a lot of, like, anyone walking into a new ecosystem, it's a little complicated. The same way that you guys at EGC is like kind of building products under the EGC umbrella. Think of the Plague as the parent company, and he's building companies as subsidiaries underneath. And that's kind of like where Chompy fits in to that picture, to put it in very simple terms.
I appreciate that, because I was kind of wondering how it all fit together, and I appreciate the clarification. Shaq, did you want to jump?
So we added the EverGrow token on our swap a while ago, when it was early days, when we were getting into talks with Rocket and whoever about working together, right? So we added it there, and we didn't really make a big deal out of it. But when I was told that Lucro was going to be usable, I said, well, this is a perfect opportunity. We want people to buy our NFTs, to help us with our utility. Let's showcase the utility by putting in their token. And then I might hear of things a bit earlier than is public. So we weren't planning on releasing Ethereum before the launch of LunaSky. But then, we found out that some of these projects were going to list. So we're going to do that, so that if people want to use their currency or to buy those tokens, to buy into collections, then they'll be able to as well. So that's, the devs are not really happy with me with this, because we already have our own plans of what we're developing, and this kind of gets in the way. But it's definitely worth it, and it's good to see how many good people are around here. Guys, if you're listening, I'll tell you a little bit about my interaction with Steve here. Steve is very kind. The first time I reached out to invite me here so I could speak, since then, I've gone to him direct to learn more about what you guys are doing, right? I haven't been part of the community for long, so I didn't know why you guys were excited about LunaSky, like what it meant for you guys. And he mentioned, I'm going to try and not say too much, but he mentioned several other things that are part of the EverGrow umbrella, which I didn't realize you guys were doing. And well, one of the projects that we're partnered with is also involved in one of these things that you guys are doing. And I'm hoping to make a connection and stuff, because really growth will come by connecting people who might not know about each other, and then working together. So Steve, and I talk to Rocket a lot, but we really mostly talk about the NFT stuff. I've spoken to Cody as well, again, about the NFT stuff. But Steve, I don't think any community is as lucky as EverGrow to have an ambassador like you, man. So you guys are really lucky to have him.
Man, I appreciate the kind words. I really, really do. And it's honestly a sincere pleasure to kind of work with you guys. And it's again, it's just the core values of what we are as a community. We want to bring people together, good people together, people who have great ideas, who are building things, and maybe like Obviously, some of them are big communities, some of them are small communities, but it doesn't matter. We could all help each other. We could all support each other. And if we keep doing that, we're going to do great things. So thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it.
It's well deserved.
Thank you, man. Oh, man, I just kind of take my breath away a little bit. I appreciate it so much. So if you guys like, we'll keep on. I wanted to give a shout out to Crypto Control. Good to see you, man. If you ever want to come up and talk, by all means, I'm more than happy to bring you up. I just want to continue on with the space if we can, unless anybody has any questions. We talked about the projects that have come on, obviously Bandroids and ChainArc, and we got some other projects that are going to be on LunaSky NFT Marketplace, SR7 Photography, EverGrow Pets we talked about, Symbols, Zelda is going to be on there, Mary Pat, EverGrow Love, Michael Garber, they got Stockbroker Online. I'm really curious about that one. Lobi's going to be there, you know that. Nexus Frontiers. If you guys haven't seen Nexus Frontiers, this looks really, really intriguing. I've heard a little bit of the backstory behind it, and I absolutely love it. We're gonna have Rocket and Lord Black on there. Super Evo. CK is gonna have his own Evo designs. Is gonna be on there too. Rocket, please jump in.
Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, just in jumping on the bandwagon of loving on Steve, if you want to help him get more reach, comment, shoot a reply on this space. So if you're on mobile, to the bottom right there, like it, retweet it, just share it. Let's get as many people here as we can.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Somebody said my volume is a little low. Is that any better? If you guys can hear me okay?
Sounds good.
Hear you good, man. You have a great Spaces voice, by the way. Calm demeanor, love it, and great turnout so far, man. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it. CK, please.
I was just going to continue with giving Steve his flowers. Subscribe to his Spotify channel. That helps a lot with not only the growth of this ecosystem, but his personal growth. I made sure to subscribe for my my account and my brothers and sisters' accounts. So you subscribe to the account, you watch it, it grows the account, it gets more exposure for the whole project.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I try to bring these spaces because not everybody has time to open up the space within this platform. Because let's say if you're driving, right, and you want to hear something again, sometimes you just can't, right? Or you have to start from the beginning if it's interrupted, all these problems. So when you put it on these streaming platforms, you can just start and stop anytime you want. It's available. You'll get a notification when the space is available. And although it's a lot more work, I get them on YouTube as well. I try to put the visuals up there to help people. I'm a little behind, too behind on those. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm working on it. EverGrow Love, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that because everybody's jumping on the Steve bandwagon. So, yeah, we do appreciate the fact that you put it in the YouTube channels and everywhere. And like me personally, I drive 2 hours back and forth to work one way. So I actually put the spaces on and I will listen to them 2 or 3 times a week just to make sure I'm caught up and I didn't miss anything. So it is very, very helpful to stay informed. But I will give a word of warning. Anybody that reaches out to Steve personally, those feet pics he sends are they're horrendous.
Hey, man, I wear work boots all day long. Okay, I can't help it. Come on. 2 times. What's going on?
Hey, as a fellow work boot wearer, I want to say that's okay. But I wanted to let you know that right at the beginning of the space, I was involved, as were other people that I don't need to name that are here now, and in the liquidity pool that we opened for FRG with essentially donations of what FRG from 50 frogs. Like we got a penny in return for whatever we donated. Some people donated 30,000 FRG to get it going. This was while the DAO was being, going through the legalese process and all the, paperwork. And it ended up that, I don't know if I took this wrong way, but I believe Shaq said something like the devs aren't happy, but like Pons ended up saying on a space that we had a space like DAO versus no DAO, and he ended up saying, he liked the way it turned out. The DAO is not a thing anymore. It's not going to be. And he wasn't mad at that. He was like, he thought that was a better move. we weren't trying to front run anything or anything like that. We were just trying to get it up and running so we could acquire more at the time if we wanted to or whatever. And so I know that, I'm sure you've talked to him. Obviously, it's going to be on LunaSky, but I'm just saying, I know that he wasn't upset about. That was months and months of work and lawyers and stuff to get DAO attorneys and everything and votes in the Discord, and he scrapped it because the better option was we already had it up and running, and it's been doing decent, So not all the devs will be mad.
I'm a little confused, Bar, where that came from. To be honest with you, unless I missed part of this conversation.
Shaq said something about the devs being mad because not about FRG, but he was putting tokens on or maybe on LunaSky or on ChainArc, and I was just saying that, like, months and months of work and money going into putting a DAO together, and then the better option is to scrap it. Talking about Pons being somebody that shines in this space, he's definitely was okay with pivoting and scrapping all that because it was a better choice. And it's still up and running, and it didn't. Like I said, unless I misunderstood him, I thought he had said something.
Mark, no, this is absolutely nothing to do with the DAO.
I know that. I thought
it's completely different. Like, the tokens can be listed on any marketplace. Like, it's not like exclusive to LunaSky. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, yeah, like I said, I might have misunderstood. I thought he said, we have our own plans. Devs might not be too happy. The point was, we did that, and nobody was unhappy about it because it was the better of the two options. It didn't matter.
You misunderstood me, brother.
Oh.
I was talking about my devs when I gave them the extra work of having to onboard the tokens that LunaSky is accepting. That's what I'm talking about. That they just have more work to do now. That was not in our original plans in anticipation of the launch. I don't know. I don't really know the situation you're talking about, but I'm just. It was a light-hearted comment about how how devs are always happy to remind everyone how busy and overworked they are. And how people like me make it worse for them.
Oh my gosh, Shaq, this is Cody. Hey, my friend. I just
Hey,
have
brother.
I have to comment on that. Yes, I think we can relate to that. He's right, everybody. It's that's how it is. I mean, you're not just building things. You're trying to get someone to build your vision, and everyone has different personalities, and adapting to those personalities it can be difficult at times. It's such a funny point you make, but it's absolutely legitimate. So, oh my goodness.
Hey,
One of the things
I didn't choose to become a developer. You did. Let's crack the whip. Crack it.
One of the things I like to tease the devs about, right, is I will ask some ginormous thing of them, and okay, we'll have a discussion. I can hear it in their voice that their spirits are dying just a little bit from the massive task they have ahead of them. I will then wait like 10 minutes after the call is done, and I'll phone back, and I'm like, is it ready?
Oh, no.
So funny to me.
It
just delights me to be able to do this to people. Early on in my career, when I was a freelancer, right, I had to build sites myself, and I know how irritating it is to have a client call you up to, like, not too long after you've started working. It's like, is it done? Can I see something yet? So now that I don't have to do this, I delight in just poking them a bit for my own enjoyment, nothing else. I know it's evil, but it's so funny.
I'm not a developer. I'm an artist, as most of you know, and I've had that because I did freelance for years, and I had that so many times. Like, I would accept doing a logo or some mock-up or anything, and literally within an hour, they would contact me and ask me, is it ready yet? Because in their head, it takes 5 minutes, right? Everything takes 5 minutes until you try to do it, right? So they would call me and be like, hey, you have anything for me yet? And I'm like, dude, Photoshop hasn't loaded yet. What are you talking about?
Why isn't it ready yet? What are you doing?
It's funny. I think this is a good segue too. I'd like to just say, just you're 100% on that. It's so funny you say it because we all deal with it who are involved in development, and it's like, with our devs, we've been working with them for a very long time now on LunaSky, right? And it's interesting. Like, I have to give it up to them because they really do put up with every single little thing that we come back with, which is constant every day. Most of y'all know we meet with them every day and a half for quite some time. Prior to that, we still worked with them several times a week. And then, in the back end, and they do it. Like, Shaq's right. Like, I can hear it in their voice sometimes too. And it's like, oh, I don't want to have to tell them to undo those 48 hours of work they just put in, even though they haven't slept yet. But the better thing is going to be to do this. But they do it. And I have to give them a massive amount of applause for it. And I have nothing but respect for our devs because they put up with us with grace. And we definitely put them through the
that must be
rigors.
nice. I get cursed out.
No.
I mean, it's all in good fun, but like, it's become a thing where I will get cursed out, or worse, I'll get told, yeah, of course it's done. I even had time to go to McDonald's or something. All right, show it to me. Because sometimes I'll think it's true, right? Because in my mind, it's this tiny, easy task. And then, I get laughed at.
Well, that's a great point too, because I mean, that's essentially how it is. We've spoke a lot about that, like especially let's say folks that are not involved in development processes or just in management of development processes. They may not know, so they have a surface level of information or education about the process, right? They know what they're being told by the project, et cetera, but it's like a glacier, a little bit of it is sticking out above the water. That is what they get to see and learn about what's going on. And unless they have any other connections to it or experience in that field, they may not be aware there's this massive, field of glaciers underneath that water they can't see. And, yeah, so you're right. It's like some things will be like, hey, why isn't this done? They're like, well, actually, it's not a 5-minute thing, and it's going to take us about 3 days. And you're like, why? But it seems like you just need to flip the switch. No, Cody, we don't flip the switch here. They're like, we have to rebuild everything that you asked us to build 2 days ago.
It's the curse of our curse of our current culture. Everything's now. Convenience, convenient. Yeah.
You're so right. And microwave culture, right? Just instantaneous. Put it in the microwave, it's done.
Yeah, LunaSky developers like, is that Cody calling? Oh my God, turn it off.
And I think you told me one time where you kind of do one little tweak, one little thing, and it has this kind of domino effect on other things, and unintended consequences.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many factors, and there's so many connections in between. So many different factors in any development. It's wild. It's like sometimes you think the simplest thing on the surface, like an image popping up on your picture, right? Okay, seems pretty simple, but behind the scenes, where's the image stored? Does it have to be cached? Is it, how's it being fetched, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Is the data broken? I mean, there are so many factors involved, so sometimes you make one change, you build it and push it to production, and then boom, you have some other anomaly that's popped up as a result, so constant balance.
I would say that's exactly what personally I find the most aggravating is when things are working and some update comes around and everything doesn't work all of a sudden. And that's the worst. And it's just part of development, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a swift kick to the throat for sure.
You know what devs really love, though? Devs' favorite thing is when you tell them, hey, we're going to be meeting every day until launch.
Yeah, they love that. That's like, he's right. They just look so forward to meeting with the folks every day.
Because they've just been waiting for your phone call. They got
oh my
else
goodness.
To do. Yeah.
So if you guys want to get out of these meetings, finish it up.
Wanted to welcome Frog Token in Berlin. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being in the space. EverGrow Love, please.
Thank you. Just trying to be patient. I didn't want to interrupt anybody. Just wanted to say they were talking about, Pons and him making changes and scrapping something. One thing that all of us that have been with EverGrow for the last 2 years know and have learned is patience. And one of the big things about the patience is knowing that that person, that business person, has the best interest for the community in mind. So anytime something's not going right, you have a lot of people that are like, well, why or when or whatever. We do it here as a method of fun, like especially poking at Rocket or Cody or somebody. We'll send win like every Wednesday. We send win, no matter what it is. But ultimately, when you got business people that are as intelligent with business as Pons or even our, Sam, you just learn to trust them. We had a prior version of a marketplace that we were running with, and it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't what they wanted for the community. And as a community, as the EverGrow community, you find that we support. We might question things, but we support that decision because we know that ultimately that decision is for the better of the community. And in the long run, that businessman, that's how they've made everything they have, is those hard decisions. We've all been there where, I'll have an executive team member give me a project, and the next day they're calling a meeting and they ask me, hey, is this done? How far along are we? And I'm not one to just sit back. I'll just look at them and say, well, not as far as we would have been if you wouldn't have called the meeting, but just trust those business people. Trust Pons. Trust Sam. That's what they do. We're just here for support. We're here to build the community, and we're here for the ride.
Yeah, agreed, man. Well said. Appreciate your words, EG Love. Always good to hear you. The most important thing, he's right, is making the decision that's best for the community and the project. And oftentimes, that's not the most favorable decision, right? But it is going to always be the best decision, just like he's saying. Anything Sam has ever decided is not always publicly the most favorable decision, but it's always been the best decision in the interest of the community and the project. That's why we've been able to survive through not only survive, but continue to build through all of this bear market. Sure, it's no secret. We have learned a lot along the way, and mostly from what I'd like to call smart mistakes at this point, because the goal is not to repeat those things, right? And that's very important. There's been a lot of learning curves, a lot of acclimation periods, and that goes for any project. But anyone's still here building and existing and pushing forward, they're doing what they need to do. That's making those decisions that are best for their communities, their projects, regardless if they're the most favorable.
It's funny because honesty and transparency, right? Those are like kind of the hallmarks of great projects. But a lot of times the impatient don't want to hear the honesty portion of it. When you tell them, hey, it's essentially a trust game, right? Do you trust me to do what's best for the project? Everybody's going to benefit. You just got to trust me on this. And some people just don't have that. They want a firm, hard deadline. Tell me the day, and I'll basically turn my phone off until that day. And then, is it ready? No, it doesn't work that way. This is a dynamic environment. Things are changing on the fly. I remember when we were having some issues with Wall Connect. I mean, who would have thought that would be an issue, right? It's just one of those things that kind of come up, and you just got to deal with it. You just got to pivot, and you can deal with it and move on, right? And just keep building. I appreciate you guys' patience so much because you do get a lot of wins. You do get a lot of the FUD. And so thank you for being patient and sticking with us and just keep building. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you guys wanted to come up at all. Berlin sorry, EverGrow Love, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one last comment on that. You had mentioned that trust and transparency. There's a lot of people that put their money in banks and stuff, and how many of them actually really trust those banks? I mean, come on. We don't trust anybody associated with the government, but yet we put all our money in there, and they don't go to the bank and ask them when. They just assume that everything's going right? But what impresses me with Sam and like Pons or anybody else that we have brought into the community, every one of those executive members, whether they're chairmen, whether they're the founders, no matter what they are, they admit their mistakes. that's what I'm impressed about.
I think that's critical.
Sorry, Steve, but
Absolutely
yeah,
critical.
I agree with you. Yeah, and also, I mean, this is not a faceless entity, Ponds, the Plague, EverGrow, Sam, we're not faceless, like these big corporations. We're here for you all the time. We're going to answer your DM. We're going to give you information. We're going to admit our mistakes. We're going to try to do the best thing for you. Big difference there.
I agree. I think those are the two most important factors. Number one, admitting mistakes. That's always going to be the number one. If you can't admit mistakes, then you're not worthy of trust. It's simple as that. So number one, admitting mistakes. But number two, like Cody just said, not being faceless, being in a community. Having your picture up. Being in meetings. On Twitter or online. Not just locked behind some CEO office that's faceless, nobody knows or anybody has access to. No, it's being involved. And those two things by far, to me at least, are the most important factors.
Absolutely. So well said. You bet. FRG Token in Berlin. I don't know if you guys want to come up and say hi. You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
No, please come on up.
Yeah, no. I'm also a frog, and I love this community so much. I know Josh. I know CK. I know 2 times. We all met in person. I couldn't be happier to hug them in real life.
Thank you so much. So
that's the first time anyone's ever said that. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, please. So if you don't mind, like I said before, I don't know if you were here, but I just love hearing backstories about how people got involved in the community. If you don't mind sharing your story, Berlin, I appreciate it.
Well, mostly Josh, Chompy's founder, helped me be better at spaces. He's an amazing person, and he's my best friend.
Wait, who got you into the Plague though?
That would be Six Pass and CK.
Yeah, that's right.
CK was at the forefront of a lot of our. I can't say anything about the man. He let me stay at his house in New York when I had nowhere to stay. So all love to CK always. So yeah, we're all plague friends, plague brethren and sisters. So it's awesome to see not only the LunaSky news with FRG, but I think we all can agree kind of where we're headed, and it's good to do this with friends. It's good to do this with people that you love and admire and adore. Pons doesn't like flowers often. We often give them to him. He usually sends them back. But again, it does start with the top down, and people like Steve, the people behind LunaSky, Chain Arc, just builders in the space, man. We can't do this alone. We all do need to stick together in that regard. And the community of the Plague, I think, is one of the best I know that I've been a part of. I came into the space probably 2 years ago, and rug after rug, like most people, and then you kind of find your way, and then you want to start your own project, and that blossoms into kind of where we are today. But through all that, getting linked up with and befriending some of the best people in the space, in my opinion, people that are still here, that never left, that never quit, never gave up, still grinding. CK's a testament to that. Berlin's a testament to that. Rocket, I know, has been there. Mark, 2 times he's been there, done that. Like, I'm in awe sometimes of people don't understand in my real life, my Webtoon normie buddies. Like, I talk about my imaginary JPEG friends, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and maybe I am crazy, but I'll go down as crazy with you guys any day, every day. I'll go to battle with you guys any day, every day. So love you all.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Once you find good people, you just stick with them, because it's so rare to find. It really, really is. So well said. Thank you, man. 2 times, please.
Hi. So I wasn't going to do this, but while everyone's giving flowers, CK, I've been with the Plague since 4 days after mint, and sometime shortly after that, maybe 3 to 4 months, I don't even know, CK gave me the opportunity of having a position as a Discord moderator, for something he was running, and he's always been someone, he won't tell you he's a dev, but he's a pretty goddamn good dev. And I heard somebody making a joke about not sleeping anymore, and that's also him. He's constantly working, and one of those. We had a joke one time. Somebody's going on vacation and said, "Confounders are to go on vacation," and you can always get a hold of him. Always there to help on any level. And I had the pleasure again, like Berlin and Josh said, of meeting all these people in New York, and they are the same people that I dealt with online for 1+ years. But I just wanted to say that. That's all.
I appreciate that, Mark. I really do. And one of the I didn't have I wasn't born with a silver spoon up my ass. I came from the gutter. So someone reached out when I was coming up to give me a chance, and that's how I kind of built my career. So it's something I really take pride in, is doing the same and passing it along. So I do try and help people out and give people opportunities. So I appreciate that.
Man, you can just feel the love in this space today. Man, it's so awesome. Love being here with you guys. FRG, I don't know if you popped up for a brief second. If you want to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to, please. Otherwise, we
Ribbit?
will. Oh, there you go. Do it again.
Is that Platy behind me?
Is that a Platy ribbit? That sounds
Yeah,
like
it
she's probably busy, but that's probably a Platy, one of the other greatest frogs in the entirety of Web3. Sorry we bogarted and hijacked your space here, but you did throw out the FRG symbol. It's kind of like the Batman symbol. You throw out FRG anywhere, or even a frog meme of any sorts, and we all just show up. But again, we're lovers, and we love community, and I'm excited for EverGrow and LunaSky and ChainArc, and again, Chompies, we're all doing it. We're all here. I want to hear another ribbit from FRG. I think that's Platy. One more ribbit, please.
Ribbit?
Definitely Platy.
Cody, get some applause for that. That was great.
I was gonna say, Steve, we got to get you in touch with Pons and get him up here. I'm sure he would love to come. I think he's busy tonight, but I think that would be awesome for you guys to meet him.
That'd be fantastic. Looking forward to it. We got
you could probably quadruple the size of the space if you get Dad up here. He hates flowers, but it would have been good to hear his take. He's always got some pretty solid takes on the state of affairs, and like you said earlier, he admits mistakes and he's pretty genuine with his approach on stuff. So EverGrow and Steve, I really do commend you and appreciate the space today. You have probably one of the more gentle, relaxing voices. If I could you read me like an audiobook or something if I send you something to read?
Yeah,
and I'll record that.
Just give me
Very
a word count,
voice.
total. Yeah, and if it helps, you got. Maybe I should try that with the LunaSky team. I don't know. So put them to sleep. Nah, maybe they don't want to sleep. I don't know. Oh man, I appreciate it so much. So how you guys doing on time? Cody, Rocket, I was kind of. I know you guys are onboarding right now with everything going on with LunaSky. Do you feel like maybe kind of saying how that's going? Give us a little maybe of an update.
Oh yes, I personally definitely feel giving an update. It's going great, man. It's just so awesome to finally see all these folks onboarding and see their profiles. Everyone that's stuck with us for all this time, through all the BS, all the ups and downs. It really and truly just fills my heart to the max. Seeing everybody's profiles on there, from EverGrow Love to Zelda to everybody. It's been great, and I just want to say personally, thank you so much for, all of your efforts and all of your patience. Thank you so much for your feedback too throughout the process of onboarding. That's been really invaluable. Being able to get those changes up the chain to the devs and getting those things done quickly has been great. We were able to push a nice change to production this morning, and I was so excited. I started throwing pictures in the onboarding chat about it. Like, oh, hey, look at your pictures and name showing up. Just little things like that. So yeah, it's been fantastic, very exciting. Actually starting to feel really, really excited. Because we've been working so hard for so long, just nose down in the grindstone. And I think anyone here that is involved in, a project or a build of any sort, they know how it is. Like, that's all they do. It's pretty consuming, and they're basically put everything they have into getting it done. So you don't feel the excitement per se until you get to certain milestones, and we're at that milestone where like, it's really feeling good. Very excited.
Can you maybe share some of the more memorable? I mean, I'm sure they've got a lot of them, but in this past, what's it been now, a week or 2 weeks or so of kind of onboarding, maybe something funny or, or just something memorable to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff like that. No, it hasn't been that long at all. What? Less than a week, I think, since we started whitelisting wallets. So a couple things, with the onboarding, if you go to the website right now, the actual website, you might hear us refer to that as the production site. That's the actual site, LunaSky.com. You're going to see that fallback image and then connect wallet. We decided to go with a whitelisted group because it's just safer versus a password protected site at that point, That will not be there, of course, once we open the gates. So once it's live, that's not going to be there. You're just going to see the homepage, just to reassure everybody. As far as memorable moments, gosh, there's been so many of them. I mean, just that first moment of people uploading their first collection. They get in, they create a profile, they upload a collection. I love that every time that happens, from the very first one that happened to, today, the ones that are happening. It's interesting to work with everybody too, and it's a great pleasure to be able to work with everybody and help, basically be their help desk and help troubleshoot and guide them along the way, along with the feedback they provide too. So it's hard for me to answer that without just kind of reiterating everything I said previously, because it's all of those moments for me personally that are memorable. Finding really weird, obscure bugs that we never would have known had, they not been there and be willing to go through this process, So yeah, really, really great.
I'm wondering, that other tweet you sent out, X, whatever, last night, the first purchase using Lucro, the buy and sell. I thought that was pretty remarkable. It was kind of like this kind of moment in history, kind of.
Yeah, it's funny because right after I did that, I was like, oh no, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then I was scared Rocket was going to be mad at me. And I was like, oh, Rocket, man, I hope you're not pissed, buddy. Sorry, I had to do it. My thumb slipped for science, for testing. Of course, Rocket's like, no, brother, you're good. But yeah, I mean, yes, that's true. It's a very significant moment that, of course, we've done many buys with all the available chains, on the test environment. This is the actual production environment. It's just behind a closed door at the moment. So yeah, very first buy on LunaSky and very first buy and sell with Lucro on LunaSky. Now, once the gates are open, of course, or let's say that in our proper voice, the gates are open, we will, somebody else will make that very first buy and sell, in the public realm. So very exciting.
Great news. Thank you. My apologies. My dog decided to make her bed right next to me, and so she's digging away at it.
That's awesome.
She won't stop either. She's been going for the last 5 minutes. Hersan, I'm trying to bring you up, but I keep getting an error. I'm really sorry about that, man. One thing I wanted to say is I get a lot of questions from people about marketing. A lot of people want to know, like, once you have a product, a utility, multiple utilities, how are we going to market this, right? And so I think people get really hung up on like ads, promotions, the usual, PooCoin listings and all that stuff. And I want you to look at this space right now and look all the great people that are in this space right now that are here because they believe in the same thing you do. And that should settle that kind of discussion about marketing. We're working together. That's our marketing. That's our community right there. So I just wanted to get that out there.
100%. Great point. We've spoke about it many times, right? But guess what? Now you can see it. And there it is. You're right. And just want to thank everybody for being here, community, new folks, Chompies, FRG Berlin 2 times. Really great to meet y'all. Shaq, CK, always good seeing you. Our OGs, Moon and EverGrow Love and Hyperbeam and Urson, Hawkish and all the crew and the staff and the community, everybody. I mean, again, just you are some of the best people I have ever met in my life and the most supportive. And I don't say things I don't mean. I think everyone that knows me in this room knows that about me, knows that about Rocket, knows that about us. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if you can hear my voice, but like I'm feeling really, really good. And I've always believed in this project and this ecosystem, just like all of you, right? But now we're right there. It's coming, and the work is not done. It's kind of the beginning. It's the rebirth, and that's just very exciting.
EverGrow Love, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that marketing aspect real quick. When you mention marketing, a lot of people automatically go to traditional marketing, billboards, TV, radio, things like that. That's what they consider marketing. That's what they're waiting on. They want to see those images and stuff. What they need to understand is this is crypto. This is completely different from traditional projects and everything. Marketing here is exactly what we're doing with bringing in other communities, with doing collaborations, with bringing in partnerships, because then it becomes a collaborative marketing effort. We, just like it says, WAGMI, right? We're all going to make it, right? But we're going to do it together. So by us marketing these other communities and their projects, they're marketing our projects. It's just a collaborative effort, and that reaches so many more people than that billboard or whatever would do.
Absolutely. And, if you do think of the traditional marketing, you think of how the general public perceives crypto right now, right? For the most part, if you ask people about crypto, I mean, I talk to a lot of people about crypto, and I would say 95% of those people tune out completely because they believe crypto is this kind of scam, and or there's no legitimacy to it, or NFTs are just kind of like just JPEGs. Like what good are they? What? Even a few years ago, I felt the same way. Like I told you my story many times. When somebody told me about Bitcoin way back at release day, I laughed, and I was just like, I was kind of actually incredulous. I didn't laugh. I was like, are you stupid? Are you kidding me? Why would I buy fake money with real money? But meanwhile, I was just playing I was playing EverQuest, and I was buying like gear within the game with my real money. You would think that I would understand that, and I didn't. And I made a promise to myself that I'll never do that again. I will be open-minded and realize that I don't know everything, but you just got to listen a little bit and maybe learn a little bit, and maybe you will learn a little bit more, and then you can get that perspective and realize there's an opportunity here, right? Not just for you, but for everybody collaboratively. So, EverGrow Love, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to do the piggyback thing again. So you were talking, first off, kudos. We both played EverQuest, but we did the same thing. I would spend money on it all the time. And when my wife's actually the one that talked to me about crypto. And she said that, everybody at her job was doing it and they're doing real good because this was in, the last bull market and stuff. And my first comment to her was, there is absolutely nothing tangible about crypto. And I didn't look into it. I didn't do anything. And she pushed it for a week or two. And I was like, okay, you know what? Just to satisfy you, I'm going to buy into crypto. And I did it. And then once I did it, I wanted to learn. I want to know what it was. Is this a fad? What's going on? And I started researching and learning. And literally within a week of me buying is when I found EverGrow. And that was exactly, I think it's 3 or 4 days of them launching. And it took me roughly 3 days to learn how to work DeFi, but I moved probably 80% of everything to EverGrow within a week of them being live.
Moon, please jump in.
Yeah, I was just since everybody's piggybacking, I'm going to piggyback on what you said about the whole crypto stuff and NFTs essentially being bundled together with the word scam, right? It's a scam, especially for people outside of crypto. And I find that this goes for both crypto in general and NFTs. But there's a very simple reason for that. And the reason for that, we all love crypto. We're all here together, but we have to admit the mistakes. And the mistakes were both in crypto and NFTs. The amount of rug pulls and scams has been unseen, unlike anything before. So when people from the outside get that perspective, so when the word crypto and especially the word NFTs have been labeled by the common folk as scams, we can't really blame them. They are labeled because they happened. Now, it's up to us as a community now in the bear market, after the bull market, and going forward. It's up to us, both the crypto community and the NFT communities, to come together and start fixing that. Because we can't forget there was a lot of people who lost a lot of money, who were quite simply tricked. And it's not our fault. We didn't do it. I know. I'm not saying it's our fault, but it still happened. And whether we want to, realize it or not, we have to solve the problems from that. And the problems are the bad labels that it's gotten to. So I think this most of all is the rebuilding period for crypto, for the NFT market, for the whole of crypto in general. And we have to educate people, we have to band together, and we have to prevent this from happening ever again going forward. Even inventing new technologies that prevents that from happening. But we have to move forward and we have to fix it.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%. And if you hear crypto in news, just regular news, like I'm talking about, just on TV or whatever. Usually they're talking about scams. Like I just heard one last week. An older lady lost $70,000 to a pig butchering scam. So that's what you're going to hear on the news, right? You're going to hear all these bad stories, but they're not talking about the innovation within the space. They're not talking about the good that blockchain can do. Because I don't want to blame them for this is just a bad story. This has really happened, but we've really got to get out there and do the outreach, and we got to share the good stuff and the progress. How do you solve a problem with NFTs? How do you solve a problem with blockchain? Those are things that we've really got to work towards and try harder on. I totally agree. 2 times, please.
Hey, so just really quick, just so everyone feels okay. I faded $8 or $12 Bitcoin in 2012. When my uncle said, "Throw me $800," and I'm like, yeah, I didn't believe in it either. But I heard, I'm gonna put something in the comments and try to pin it in a minute. But a friend spaced the other day. I don't know if anybody knows Scott Fu Music, but he said he went to one of, I believe, 3 buildings. There's one in New York, one in LA, and one in Austin maybe, and it's called the Web3. I want to say the Web3 Museum. I'll find it, but he said the building was about 50 to 60 people, all Web3 creatives, different. Everybody was different. Some people were founding projects, but it was like a rented space. And he said he was shocked by how many people he met that didn't know about Twitter or didn't care about Twitter, and they used LinkedIn. And he's somewhat of a big presence on Twitter, but he's also a Grammy Award winning music producer. And he said these people, they're all heavily bullish on Web3 going forward. They're dedicating money and time towards it in a collective or multiple collective spaces, but none of them could pick him out from Twitter. They could pick him out from his real name on his LinkedIn. So that being said, I just wanted to say it's you're saying solving problems. I remember that's what got me involved in the first place with the plague, was that I can remember the exact 2 tweets, but the point is that the whole thing about it was always let's try to not be a meme, and I'm going to put the graphic up, but I'm probably going to be wrong with the exact things. But somebody said in that space that they don't bother with anything on Twitter because they're all a scam. And I'm sorry, I don't know who it was, but let's say Gary Genzo, somebody's trying to pass a bill about crypto being mostly used for crime. And since 2019, it went from 0.64% of all crime related money laundering has gone down to 0.9, and 100, basically 99.92% of it is fiat. So I'll find the actual screenshot that I put up in that space like 1 or 2 days ago, and I'll put it up. But it's gone the other way, it's shied away from it. And the technology on the blockchain can allow you to go back and find at any time any transaction, even if you have to do a little bit of digging. So I'm going to put that in the comments and see if I can pin it. But
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think people are obviously into crypto to obviously make money. That's nothing wrong with that. But I think the people who are really into crypto see the opportunity for real change, for real progress. They want to build something bigger than just making money. What difference can I make within this space? And so you're seeing these individual projects that are doing just that. They're building something unique to them that's to their core of what they are, and running with it. And then you have these other projects that are just kind of try to copycat and scam people. And those are the ones that unfortunately get a lot of attention. And it's too bad, but they do say the squeaky wheel does get the grease, right? So I can't remember who is up first, but if it's okay, Evergold, I'm going to bring up Chompy's first.
It was EverGrow, but I'll digress. He had his hand up, and then I was going to concede the floor to CK because I know he probably had a good point to piggyback off what Mark was saying.
Right, CK.
Honestly, I did not. I expected you two to speak first, so raising my hand and gonna shut up.
Okay. I just jump on in because you guys are going to sit there and argue about it in the background anyway. Hey, real quick, 3 things. One, yeah, I'm here just my biggest reason for being here is I just want the world to be a better place. I just want more kindness, more love. I just want people to get along. That's the reason I do some of the NFTs I do. That's the reason, that I set them up like I do to send a lot more back to the project than probably most of them. It's just for support. I'm not here to become extremely rich or wealthy. I don't mind making a little bit, but on that note too, like the suggestion about an NFT book that changes languages depending on where you're at. So first off, Steve, you're going to be the one that I contact, or whoever puts that project together. Please contact Steve to do all the voicing for that. And then the last thing I had was, we talked about the current space right now, and we're in that recovery phase from all the damage that was done. The damage was done because of a lot of false narratives within the media, just highlighting and spotlighting anything bad that happened rather than spotlighting anything good. But if you notice, that is a media trend. They do that. You can turn the news on anytime and you will see more death, destruction, and violence than you actually do in a freaking action movie. This is the same thing, and I always refer back to within my first couple months of investing into EverGrow. Sam was on an AMA, and he discussed and compared crypto to the stock exchange, and I have never forgotten it because he made the comment that when the stock exchange first started, you had people saying it's a scam, you had people saying it's not real, you had people making all the exact same comments that they're making right now about crypto. And the difference is that nobody remembers all the scams that came out when the stock exchange first started, why they had to put in all the regulations, why they had to sit there and monitor it. I mean, there was so much that happened, but look at it now. I mean, it's not going anywhere. The question is how long is it going to take? Now, my comparison personally is it took decades for the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ and everything to become what it is, right? Crypto is a lot faster moving system, and I don't think it's going to take near as long for it to become a worldwide adaptation, simply because of the use of technology, which is something they didn't have back when those started.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the acceleration of technology makes it so much more faster. And, I think there's obstacles in the way of progress. I think a lot of it has to do with biases. G-Man over Mr. Gensler. I think he is an obstacle, but all obstacles can be circumvented or avoided. and it's just a matter of time. So, well said.
Yeah, if you'll, I'll kind of end and on my end, Chompies here, just to kind of segue into what I was going to say, and there is obviously a concerted effort to highlight everything negative that has happened within our space in the past couple of years, especially, and as you said, with Gensler being an obstacle. To me, it's obvious kind of what's been going on, but again, that's where the bright lights have to shine. That's where the good people have to come together. That's why we're all here. I would say most of the people that are still here, that are still building, that are still putting out effort daily, like we do, like the people that are in this space currently, are here for the right reasons. I hated the bear market. We launched during the bear market. It was tough, but the bear market was necessary to get to where we need to go eventually, and that's the main point of going through bad times to get to the good. And I think that's what we would mostly consider this. It was a necessary kind of evil of what was to happen. You're always going to have bad people. It'd be like blaming blockchain technology and crypto is like blaming the internet for everything bad that goes on daily on the internet, which is how we live our lives through the internet. But and again, with NFTs, I have to have this conversation. I almost have like a sales pitch, elevator pitch for my family and friends that are so confused by what I do. But considering them digital collectibles, everyone I know at some point has collected, especially my male friends, collected Pokemon cards, baseball cards, football cards. They'll pay thousands of dollars for a piece of cardboard that other people give value. It has no real value. It's tangible. Great. I love holding something, but at the same time, we give it value. Same thing with NFTs, with JPEGs. But the beautiful thing about what we deal in and with NFTs and with the utility that comes behind them is they can be life-changing. They can be life-altering for the good, be it the core cause that we do with autism acceptance and trying to help people all over the world. Go to school with young children, go to school, or some of the other projects that have come and formed and really made a difference, like the plague, and really look to change the narrative of our space. That's why I'm bullish on the future. I'm bullish on what we're doing. I do have to go. I have small children screaming in the background. Hopefully you can't hear them. They're ready to go to bed. And I love you guys. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you giving this small, toothy little project the floor for a brief amount of time. But I look forward to your guys' future, LunaSky, Chain Arc. Steve, I can't wait to get that audio book that I'm going to have you read aloud to me to maybe it'll help put my kids to sleep. You have a very soothing voice. I love it. Appreciate the space. CK, I love you. I came up just because I saw you in the space. And lo and behold, it divulged into a flower fest for everyone. And I appreciate you all. Bob
Thank you
Berlin,
so
love
much
you
for being
too.
here. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, make sure you follow Chumpy's NFT. Really appreciate you being here today, man. Look forward to seeing you again. All right, we got a bunch of hands up here. Who is first? CK, please.
Yeah, I just want to touch on I forget who brought it up, but it was a great point about one, how the stock market was seen as a fad when it first came out. I think it was EverGrow Love. There's a video that's been circulating recently when Burger King first started accepting credit cards, and people were like, if people can't afford a $4 cheeseburger, this is going to turn into a mess. No one's going to use credit cards. Like, that was me mocking their voice. That's not how I normally sound. And obviously, credit cards have done pretty damn well since 1990. Same thing with the internet. But one thing I wanted to bring up that kind of came to my mind was back then. They just let you like rip penny stocks and just rip people off. Like they didn't even care because the SEC was making money off of it back then. And this is opposite now because it's DeFi and decentralized, they're not getting paid behind closed doors and they're not making money. And honestly, most of them don't even understand the technology. So that's why they're not making money off of it. And until the politicians get that advantage of making money off of it, I think they're going to continue to keep crashing it down. I mean, maybe the best way is to teach them how to make money, to scan the market, and then they'll start pushing it. Like I don't know, like it's a complete 180 to how they treated the stock market like when it first came out. There was no SEC war against it. Maybe it's because it's finally the middle class making money this time. and not the rich people. But I don't know. It's a thought provocative conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the fact that it can't control it, it does bring up a lot of problems, but it's not the problems that you think it is. And I think there's the perspective. I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people that are in politics that they're so busy working out deals to try and get their local legislation passed, and and you got the people that are trying to push particular what do they call it? I'm trying to think of the word there. Lobbyists. And so they're so busy they don't have time to really just do the research into what this is and what it can do. And I think if they spend a little bit of time, maybe it might change their mind. But I don't know. Maybe we should get some of these guys on a space, and maybe one by one we can win them over. And it'll take some effort for sure. But I would love to do that. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can make some headway with that. I'm gonna see if I can bring somebody in a space, and maybe we can just have a really good candid conversation, and try to change the hearts and minds of some of these people. And maybe then they can realize that we're not the enemy. We're here to help. We really are. I hope you guys don't mind. Hassan has tried for like the last half hour to get in, and he finally got in. Hassan, please, thanks so much for your patience.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, well, at this point, it's been a long time. Like the things I wanted to say. So I'll say this first about LunaSky. What I've seen so far, it's really, really good. I like it. I like the profile thing. So that goes for Cody and Rocket. My favorite part is the phone. Because there's one for computer and one for phone. I think for the phone that's my favorite one. Uh, and for just now, I think that if you prove to the politicians what type of problem crypto can solve, they probably might be more interested. Now, I think that if the SEC approves the ETFs, that's gonna bring crypto like more mainstream. That's gonna help, bring. It's like singers when someone singing like underground, and then they do a collaboration with a famous singer that's mainstream. That helps the underground singer. I think that it's going to happen with crypto. Now, those people, I think, who are invested in project with good utility are gonna benefit the most. The other day, the CEO of Binance tweeted that 1 million people use Binance every day, and we are in a bear market. So I understand by that no matter what, those projects with good utility, they can withstand almost anything. So if EverGrow and the other projects that are coming together can do that, bull market's gonna be like a cherry on top, because that's the good thing about utility. You have to use it no matter what. You have to use it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very, very well said. I can't recall Moon or Two Time. Maybe Moon, if you don't mind.
No, let Two Times go first. That's fine.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. So just, kind of piggybacking off what EverGrow and then CK said, something that my grandparents who were off the boat from Ireland told me was that, I'm from Boston, if you can't tell already by the way I speak. I've been trying to curb it a little bit, but, they would tell stories of Sears came out with the refrigerator when my great grandmother had 12 kids during the Great Depression, and some guys would pool their money together and they'd go door to door with a 2-wheel cart and have a full-size fridge on it and say, hey, check out this new fridge, you can be on a payment plan, you can do this, you can do that. And it was the same one, and that was a scam. And then that changed over to exactly what CK said was where I was going to go with this. You can all the way until I remember. So I'm 40 years old. I remember 5 or 6 years ago, my mother, works for Big Pharma, didn't want to use PayPal because she didn't think it was safe. And, it's just, and PayPal, I'm not saying it has, like multiple scams or anything, or any for that matter that I know of, but what I'm getting at is that you could track this all the way down the line. And the way I think is, I'm obviously not pro Gensler, but it's almost like Gensler being so bad at what he does, if everybody wants him out, or for the most part, you can say crypto people want him out. But if somebody that knows what they're talking about gets in there and they stop just throwing, lawsuits or whatever they're not affidavits, but I can't think of the word right now, at people, and they start bringing some real issues to the SEC into court, it's like, is that the better of two evils? And exactly, again, like CK said, I do think it's because, middle-sized companies, they don't mind if you can track transactions and stuff like that. But something I heard recently was about Nancy Pelosi and her salary. Of all the years she's worked in politics, if you added up her salary compared to what her net worth is, she would have had to have, it was something like, 62 years in politics. She would have to have worked 8 lifetimes to have her net worth now. And they said people like that don't want you to be able to track where that money comes from. And that's it's not, I'm not wearing like a tinfoil hat. I'm just saying these scams, anything new is a scam. And earlier in the space, someone said about missing out, I think, on Bitcoin. I want to be an early adopter now. And I've changed my ways too, because I did the same thing with Bitcoin, and maybe not go full send, but definitely poke around and see what's going on with, being an early adopter, and don't just shut something out right away, because, you can literally say that about anything. And also, I put to the top the screenshot that I had.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, I think there's so much life-changing opportunity, just not financially, within crypto, that just like I said, there's so much room for good. I'm going to bring Moon up here in a second, but first thing I want to do is I want to say hi to Ippy. You guys did a great space Tuesday. It was one of the best space I've been in a long, long time. And Tuesday evenings, I'm going to try to make it every single Tuesday. And I think it was the Alpha Hour that I saw in Alpha Hour time. So if you guys get a chance, great discussion in there. Lots of really logical debates and very respectful people. So thank you so much. Boom, please jump.
Yeah, I mean, wow. So many of you have said so many great things. I don't even know what to start. You, Steve, EverGrow Love, Chompies, all of you said, Gerson 2 times, all of you said something that I wholeheartedly agree with at some point or another. But I kind of want to mention and reiterate that whole stock exchange comparison, because, yeah, I do find that very interesting, because it's true. And the stock exchange came out in 1792. Okay, that is 231 years ago. So right off the bat, I mean, we're not even in the same galaxy, right? Crypto is, 15 years old. So right off the bat, I mean, 2 different galaxies completely. But yet the similarities are obvious. And I think if you really look at the psychology, the human psychology, right, behind it, I think you can understand a lot of why people at first don't really want to jump on the acceptance of something new. And I think the main reason for that, just like crypto and just like NFTs, the stock exchange had that problem as well, which was it wasn't tangible. And every time you have something that's not tangible, that's not physical, that you can't touch with your fingers, human nature has a trouble with trusting, right? And this is exactly what you see with crypto. You can't touch it. You can't, it's not physical. Same thing with NFTs, right? Chompy's given an example of, what was it? Pokemon cards? Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering, whatever. I collected them, growing up. Many of my friends collected them growing up. Now you have whole markets that will buy a freaking Charizard for $500,000, something insane. And again, the reason for that is mostly because it's tangible, right? You don't have that with NFTs. So with the Pokemon cards, there's a certain leniency that happens, like, this human psychology I'm talking about, that you don't give to things that are not tangible, or you usually don't give. And so getting over, that hurdle is, in my mind, what really makes the difference between adopting crypto and not adopting. It's getting over that intangibility aspect, right? And I mean, you can buy a painting. There's paintings for millions of dollars, right? And do you see anybody saying when they buy a painting, oh, it has no utility? Well, I'm sorry, did you expect your painting to do your dishes? Because it's not going to do your dishes. Neither will an NFT. But yet they say that about an NFT, but they won't say that about a painting. Again, tangibility. So we have to understand, the reasons why we behave the way that we behave, and why the population, takes so much time sometimes in accepting things that are not tangible. And once you really think about it, I can understand why. But we have to move forward. We have to move forward. We have to adopt. We have to adapt. And going back to what Gerson was saying about politicians, I agree with what you were saying, Gerson, but I also disagree. And the reason for that is the current way that the political world works is they're not going to accept crypto, even if you show them the good things that crypto can do, right? The problems of the world that crypto can solve. They won't care. And the reason for that is very simple. They're old. They have built their millionaire fortunes with the old system that has worked for them for decades. Something new that is going to change all of that they don't know how it works, that they're not comfortable with, they will never accept that. That's why we need term limits. That's why we need a younger generation leading the country and every other country, newer politicians. And until that happens, they will block that. So I just wanted to say that.
I think part of it is age, but in fairness, I think it's some people are encumbered. And that means to me that they've been working within the system that's provided very, very well for them. And
Exactly.
and they've been benefiting this whole time from a system that's worked very well for them. To change that, and it comes with influence, right? You can't tell me a particular court justice gets free trips. Do you not think that might be influential, even on the slightest degree? So if you are encumbered, that's what I mean by encumbered, you owe a debt to those people. And maybe it's even a bias. So if, as long as you're dealing with that, it makes it very, very difficult to change people's minds, because it's going from an older way of thinking to a new way of thinking in a very, very short period of time. So, but we got to keep working on that. I mean, we can't just accept no for an answer, especially when we know it's going to do good things. So we just got to keep trying. And
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And also the fact that what incentive do current politicians and lawmakers have to change things? Like you said, Steve, if they have any incentive, is to keep things as they are, because that's what's worked for them. That's where they built their millions of dollars. That's what, they're part of the club. The only way that will change is when you put someone as a lawmaker who the system hasn't been working for, who is struggling like the rest of us. Those people will make changes, because the system doesn't work for them like it doesn't work for us. But for people who the system has been working very well for decades and decades, they don't have any intention of changing things.
And a prime example of is Gensler, who was at Goldman Sachs for 14 years approximately, done very well for himself for 14 years. And he's learned that system, and he's learned how to benefit from that system. So there's an incentivization to stay the way things are. Why would you change?
Sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
Pretty passionate about this topic. I mean, who was the last person that had the balls to stand up to the Fed? JFK. And what happened to him? He got killed, right? So I think it goes a lot deeper than is what's shown to us. And you're right. Gary Gensler, I mean, he's in bed with Larry, right? Finkelstein. And BlackRock owns pretty much every company in the world through different proxies and stuff. I mean, anyone that pays attention knows that. So like
$14 trillion in assets.
Exactly. So it's so far above us, like not us. I don't know who they're. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gary's on this call right now, but behind a PFP. But if you are here, Gary, I challenge you to a fight 1-on-1. But anyway, no. But I think it goes so far above what we see. And as we know, money rules everything. I mean, just look at the military-industrial complex. What was his name? The idiot vice president who shot his friend duck hunting. Dick Cheney owns Halliburton. How much billions he made off of the Iraq War, right? Like there's so much shit. We could go on for hours.
Great. Now I gotta flag this as not family friendly.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just playing with you, man. EverGrow Love, thanks for your patience.
Hey, yeah, sorry. I just wanted to kind of put a counter spin on that because I don't necessarily. I mean, a lot of people believe that. I don't necessarily believe that. Look at all the recent information that's been coming out about politicians that do own crypto, at all the millionaires that own crypto, at all these major influencing people that own crypto. They're in it. And to me, the reason they don't want to change it and the reason that they don't want to get involved in it is because they have found a way to make money off of it. The minute you regulate it, the minute they start putting all these rules against it and they increase the transparency, they can't hide what they're doing anymore. So I think they're already in it personally. You hear about it all the time. I mean, there's been politicians that have flat said that they will take their entire salary in crypto. Why would they do that if they're not already in it? They found a way. So to say that we're staying with our old system because they haven't found a way to work the system, I don't necessarily believe that. I believe they found a way to work the system and they don't want it to change because it's working better than the system that they currently had previously because they can hide it better. And on that note, I mean, I know I go with the conspiracy theory thing a lot, but when it comes to governments, they're in the know a whole lot more than you think they are. They know the people that are designing things. They know the people that can program things. They're affiliated with corporations that have people that know how to do this stuff. I mean, they have so many connections. To say that they don't know, I don't agree with that. And the other thing was the NFTs. You know, they were talking about, well, you can go out and get a Pokemon card and you've got a piece of cardboard. There's no utility behind it. Well, that's great, but when we're talking NFTs, we got to break that thought process of it's just a JPEG. Well, no, we've got to show them that you can make money owning this image digitally. And once they start learning that by owning an image digitally, all of a sudden those NFTs are going to become more valuable than those paintings you can hang up on your wall. And the fact that you can go out and get some kind of display to actually display that image, that NFT in your own home, now you have a dual purpose. Plus, while it's hanging on your wall, guess what? You're earning money on it. I mean, we've really got to push that.
Yeah, you're absolutely. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I mean, you know, you shouldn't speak in absolutes, right? Because absolutes leave no room for possibilities. So, two-time, please jump in.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on, I mean, first of all, with government, that you couldn't have said it better, especially with government, but with everything. You know, I believe that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. But I wanted to touch on, you know, somebody said something about being tangible and not tangible. I was talking to some people the other day, actually Tuesday, about, you know, this same topic for this, not this exact one, but basically this, and how you have to, like, somebody that I was in the group with said I had to wait for a check to clear for 5 business days. So it went from like a Wednesday to then a Monday was a holiday, a Tuesday, and then somebody that was in the group, is quite known to be doing quite well for himself. And he said, I'll challenge you to this. This is even harder. He said, if I wanted to go to my bank, what people don't ever think about is no matter how much money, if I look at my, balance in my checking account and I want to withdraw $1 million, it's going to take me 2 to 3 days. I'm going to have to sit down. I'm going to have to write these papers out. But even worse is if I want to deposit $1 million in cash, then it's going to take 7 days because they don't want to take all that money. And he said, basically the money's not there. And that's something that pretty much, I would assume a lot of people know who've been business owners or banking for X amount of years. But it was just something that, stood out to me, that like something as simple as, cashing a check and having it, I'll pay the $2 or $3 in gas if, to get a check. And then, PayPal has this new thing coming out where they're going to have a platform, I guess, and whatever. But it's, believe it, it's not really fungible, even if it's your money anyways. But I know the rules are different for the super rich and super wealthy people and top 1% and all that. But I just wanted to touch on the tangibility aspect of it,
Out of curiosity, when a few years ago there was a famous painting that was basically being sold off in pieces, not like cut up into pieces, but you could actually own a part of this painting in order to benefit from the future growth of that investment. And I wonder how people felt about doing that. Did they feel more secure about buying a piece of a painting that you don't own the painting? It's not yours. You may have a piece of paper that says you do own that painting, but compared to crypto, right? I wonder, it just kind of popped in my head that could you draw a parallel between the two? Would people say, well, no, I'm fine with that because it was a Monet or it was a Picasso or something. I own 1/1000th of a Picasso. Most people would be like, well, you either own it or you don't. How could you own a fraction of something? So it's kind of interesting. CKP.
Right. So the crypto equivalent of that would be, sorry, let me just say this. The crypto equivalent of that would be owning a part of an NFT, basically.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so Steve, you made a good point too, but I want to touch on EverGrow Love's points and 2x points first. 2x ended with the right point. There's two different worlds, the rich and the poor, right? In the economy that we live in and what they're allowed to get away with. Everyone pretty much knows that. When I was saying government, EverGrow Love, I meant like congressmen, like that can't even figure out how to set up Wi-Fi routers. Not like my cousin is in cybersecurity for the NSA. When I said the military is 30 years ahead of us in tech, he laughs and he says, we're more than 100 years ahead of what you guys know. So the military and the real people in charge are way, way, way ahead of us and know way more than us. And like, yes, they know exactly how to work the system. I'm talking more of like your Pelosi's that make calls to their husband before a bill gets passed, like shit like that, so he can make a trade and stuff like that. And I'm not accusing them, but that's just an example. I could say any name, right? Not making any accusations. Yeah, to me, it's like the way they've handled crypto is a clear crackdown on the middle class and the poor people. Like that one Coinbase guy is doing 5 years in prison for stealing $10K, just to make an example out of him, right? Now, any wire transfer on Venmo over $600, you have to report to the IRS. Like these are just different instances of more restrictions to me and making it harder for poorer people than to really get out of their situations. And it's really reducing class mobility, which was the American dream in the first place. And that's my biggest disappointment as a millennial. I just turned 30. I just finished paying off my student loans. And now, I mean, and I have a very successful career and stuff. And now I have money and I'm saving up, and I'll probably buy a house in a year. But compared to 15 years ago, most people were buying houses when they were 20 because they could afford it. And then you throw in having children. How can you even afford to have children? Especially, I live in New York City, so like it's expensive for a child. So like, there's a lot of things that are screwed up right now. It's not just one issue, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we were just talking, my wife and I were just talking recently, and we live in Southern California, and just something as simple as water. Like the water rates are going to go up by 50% over the next 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, for some people, that's the difference between medication and paying a water bill. Electricity is approximately 2.5 times more expensive than elsewhere in the state, because it's a monopoly. There's no competition, right? So you either don't have electricity or you do. And you just basically, luckily we live in Southern California, so we keep the windows open quite a bit, and you don't need to run the air. But there are times where it gets pretty darn hot, and I know a lot of people who have $600, $700, $800 electricity bills because they got to run their AC. It doesn't add up, especially when you're a $10 to $15 an hour worker. You got to 6, 7 people to a house. I mean, how is that really kind of freedom? You know what I mean? Maybe some people like that sort of thing if you're kind of a young guy and and living that life, but not a lot of people want that sort of thing. They want a family, right? So, Hersan, thanks for your patience.
Yeah, I want to say something. I think it was 2 times you said something about like transferring money. And I want to connect that with something Michael Saylor said in an interview, that it's very difficult to pass, to transfer, let's say, through the airport for one country to another, like $1 million. But with crypto gives you that. He prefers more to Bitcoin. But I also heard Kevin O'Leary saying that you can use stable coins to pay. Anyway, he was talking very good about crypto versus fiat, that what you pay to transfer um, fiat from one country to another is a lot. So crypto for him, and for, I guess, for everybody, fixes that problem. Now the issue is right now it's too, people don't trust it. It's not mainstream, but crypto fixes that problem. And I guess once more people realize that, it's gonna be more popular and more trustworthy. I think is the word. Anyway, yeah. So I hope and I believe Atlas Wallet is gonna do some wonder about that, because yeah, someone they answered a question to me about that.
That's a really good point. I mean, everybody looks at Bitcoin like it's it's the leader, it's the first, right? We've had so many discussions about Bitcoin, and it's one of those things where it defines the market in a lot of ways. Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. And I always had this dream that crypto was supposed to be independent of individual markets. It was supposed to kind of, if the stock market was down, it didn't really matter. The crypto market was going to go down because it's independent. But that's not necessarily reality. They move in cycles, just like stocks move in cycles, just like weather moves in cycles, just like many things move in cycles. How you weather those cycles is really what you're interested in. That's what you should be focused on by building a good project, by building utilities, by diversifying, by building communities and things like that. I talked about communities in the past, and actually Sam put out a tweet, I think it was on Thursday, and it said like this: we always said our strategy for both Atlas and LunaSky are about building both utilities via communities, and success in crypto is about community about community. With these builds, we can leverage dozens, possibly hundreds of communities. There is no more effective route to growth. But this goes both ways. Rocket, Cody, and LunaSky team have nurtured those relationships and will continue to do so. This is about creating an environment where creators and projects feel cherished, cared for, and part of the family. I don't believe anyone else can offer what LunaSky offers in this regard, and I have no doubt it will be hugely successful. And I completely agree, 100%, because we're all on the same page here. We're all trying to help each other. There's no illusions on, we're trying to take advantage of something or they're trying to take advantage of us. We're just here to help each other. That's it. It's very simple. And we're going to do well at it. And I know we're going to do well at it. I have no doubt in my mind. I did want to bring up staking, because some people have asked about EverGrow staking, which will be on the EverGrow site. Sam had put out a tweet about that. Just wrapped up a short EverGrow staking meeting. The contract we built is fantastic, along with a super simple user experience. The staking feature and rewards are going to be something never seen before. Can't wait to reveal that to you guys. I love staking. I mean, I've had my first staking experience, I've said before, was terrible. I lost money on it. I was made all these promises of what it was going to be and all that stuff. And I learned the hard way that you got to read the fine print, if there's fine print at all. And so I'm really excited to see. I've been staking Lucro through Brew Labs right now, and I think it's like right around low 9%. Since I started. So, those are really good. I mean, you can get 9%. You should, anything more than that, I mean, you're doing really, really well. So, if you guys,
it's all going to be LunaSky den staking.
So that's I don't know. Rocket, Cody, do you want to keep maybe kind of go into?
Yeah, I'd like to touch on the staking really quick, actually. That meeting was really great. It's going to be one of the final meetings, actually, because everything is done. So I'll give everybody a quick update on that. Saw the full demo, front end and back end. So from our admin panel to the front end user, everything is working really well. It looks really clean. It's very simple. It, as we've mentioned, is the EverGrow colors, so it is going to match that same aesthetic as the website. So what's happening now? It's being integrated into the website. So they're just building that aspect of it. Shouldn't be too much longer. The launch plans are still the same as you've all seen online. LunaSky and staking, then Atlas, and then Lucro Gaming. Yeah. And Moon, I didn't catch your question or comment. I'm sorry, buddy.
Wait, what question?
I think he was asking about the order of
Oh,
yeah, the order. Is this the LunaSky den staking?
Yeah. LunaSky, staking, Atlas, Lucro Gaming.
Gotcha.
And speaking of, before I do, I just wanted to give out a shout out to Naked NFT Girl. I'm glad you're feeling better. You were offline there for a bit, and it sounded like you were pretty sick. I'm really glad you're doing better. On the Grow Crypto, glad you're here too. Speaking of LunaSky, I wanted to. Oh, did you want to speak on the Grow Crypto?
Oh yeah, I mean, I just had a quick question, and I apologize. I've been having to pop in and out of the space as I've been doing some work here in the real world, right, in the Web 2 world. So if this has been asked already, I'll accept a real brief, answer to the question. Apologies if I'm doing the repeat game. But when it comes to LunaSky, there's a lot of hype, and obviously, and then staking, like my personal favorite. I'm looking forward to everything rolling out, like I'm sure you guys are. But staking, you guys talking about staking right now, it just has me really jazzed because that has so much anchor potential with so many people that aren't in this part of crypto, and some people refer to themselves as like utilitarian crypto only and staking only, and I don't do anything with any kind of animated graphics, but staking can change that tune, especially if the returns are good. So I'm really excited about that. But with all the people that it's going to bring into our ecosystem, have there been any plans or talks or anything like that about a 24-hour VC in the Discord to handle that kind of influx? Because I'm a part of a project that does have a 24-hour VC, and they are lucky and they have people in different time zones and it just works for them. But I have seen so many people in that project comment when they come in, oh, wow, I'm here to stay because there's actually someone here to answer my questions 24/7, no matter what time it is. So I just feel like that's super reassuring for new people, and I wondered if we had something like that coming down the pipe. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm happy to speak to that. Hey, this is Cody. Good to hear from you. It's been a while. So, in the early days of EverGrow, that's essentially what Discord was because it was so busy. There was 24/7, multiple staff members available right there, right? In chat, capable of hopping in VC. We definitely anticipate as things start ramping up again, the more traffic coming in, of course, the more staff we're going to have in there covering the more time zones, availability for just being in VC at any time to hop in with somebody. So yeah, definitely something that we want to be able to get back to doing. We look forward to having that crazy madhouse Discord again. Those were the days.
Yeah, there was times where I remember you had to slow down the chat because it
Yep,
was
all
just
the time.
you couldn't read
Yeah.
anything. You're just
Yeah.
blown.
Yeah, and I was like the night shift guy in the early days. I was the night shift guy on the go. And it was like, there were several of us that just were night owls anyway. So we were there at nighttime, and it was just madhouse crazy, even then, at night. So good days, good times. So yeah, I mean, again, I haven't been asleep since September 25th, 2021, but it's all good. It's been a good time.
So on the go, reference LunaSky. You will have AI. I don't know if you followed this or not. Yeah, we'll have AI support, but I think Rocket or Cody, you guys gave a really good point. Or somebody did at the very beginning, that there's going to be a lot of guidance at the very beginning, that you read this first, before you guys start uploading. Just because there's going to be a lot of explanations, which is going to be super helpful for people who've never done it before. But if you can't figure it out and you're stuck, live support on LunaSky, 24 hours, so you can reach a person.
Yeah, 100%. EverGrow Love brought this up, and it was a great point. And I do want to reiterate this too. Utilize the resources that are available. Once this thing launches, it's going to be very different for people. Especially folks that aren't used to like the traditional ERC 721 type platform. Which is a lot of us, right? So there's a help center there. I highly recommend just looking at it. Lisa, the LunaSky virtual assistant bot, made by Mr. Rocket Surgeon himself. Will essentially right now direct you. It's just bot logic, so she would direct you to any article in the help center. If you do ask her for a human, it's great. She'll ping one of the human people like myself or Rocket or Hyperbeam or Drake Fizz or any of our staff that are helping with that, and they can respond to you directly through the messaging portal. So yeah, 24-hour customer support messaging. The help center is there as well with documentation. So a lot of support.
Jumpies, please jump in.
Yeah, I wanted to. I got the kids to bed, so I had a brief moment there of quiet, and it's I don't know what to do with myself. But yeah, I think we're not used to that in the space, so I'm excited to have customer support of any level. I think we can all agree, from OpenSea to not being able to contact teams or founders or any project you've invested in, or not being accessible. I'm excited of that for EverGrow and kind of what that. I'm doing some DD on it now. Obviously we get kind of locked in these echo chambers. Ours is more of the gaming side and the plague side. So it's nice to be in these spaces and see different faces, see different communities. And I'm excited to learn more about EverGrow, LunaSky. But EverGrow, is your all's, just a question, is your all's, do y'all have like a, we just created I'll keep this on the reps. We're creating a character for our game that is of an entire blockchain technology. We're in talks with them. Is your all's like a little ninja character with the purple, almost like a Donatello style mask?
EverGrow man. Yeah.
Yeah, EverGrow man. That's it right there.
I love that. Yeah, I saw the pinned tweet and read some on that. It's pretty awesome tweet and thread on the anniversary birthday deal. But yeah, I look forward to learning more about you guys, and I'd love to might even see a little EverGrow Ninja in our game maybe at some point. But yeah, it's appreciate this time. Yeah, we've had some homages to some different communities, from Space Riders to the Plague to Brawler Bears, and now we're working on one with an entire gaming blockchain. But I'll talk with my dev. We had the dev jokes and conversation earlier, but thankfully my dev, the guy that does all of our coding for the game and some of the other stuff, is my in real life friend that literally lives like a couple blocks down, so I can just throw a rock at him and ask him for favors all hours of the night. So
That's awesome.
not financial advice.
Yeah, reach out to me or Rocket anytime about that, man. Happy for that. And one of the first things that you mentioned, I'd like to touch on real quick. That's what we're all about here is support. I mean, the community and the staff with EverGrow has always been that way. In the beta, LunaSky, I said the word. Sorry, y'all. Somebody red button me. It's rare, but somebody gets a chance to red button me. Um, I basically lived in Twitter DMs. A lot of us did on the staff and just helping people who were using the beta and going through the process. So, yeah, I mean, we'll always be there for everybody. You can always reach out to any of us. We're always going to respond. And we want to try to make it as efficient and as supportive as possible. That's one of our main goals as a community and a project, not just LunaSky. I mean, EverGrow has a lot under its ecosystem, and that's one of the most important parts of it is customer support, 100%.
Thank you for saying
Yeah,
that, Cody.
that's refreshing. Yeah, we're not I think accustomed to that in the space, which again we are early and we are new to a lot of things. But I look forward to that for you guys and for those that are involved with you all for sure.
If I can, I'm sorry. I actually got to go start making dinner and stuff, so I got to drop. So appreciate everyone here. Love you guys. Love you guys for welcoming me into the community. Really excited for what's to come, and I'll be back on later, annoying the shit out of Rocket and Cody. So don't think you can hide. You can run, you can't hide. But
I'll be waiting for you, man.
I'll be back.
We'll be waiting for you. We don't sleep. We'll be there.
All right, later, man.
Bye.
Thanks for being here, CK. Appreciate it, man. All right. One thing I was going to mention, though, too, I'll get you in a second here, Christopher, is as far as staking goes, right? The team had mentioned too, is that they designed the staking to be as simple as possible, but it wasn't supposed to be one-dimensional either, where typically with staking, you either are a native token or potentially a stablecoin. Sam wouldn't reveal what the plan is. I think I have an idea what the plan is, but you guys, I think, will be pleasantly surprised on how the staking is going to work exactly.
That's right. And I'm really glad you said that because I was just thinking about that. And I was thinking, well, I don't think we've said fully, the details about that, but listen to what Steve said. Go back and listen to that sentence that he just said. Staking is going to be really cool, and it's going to be a lot more than just your traditional staking.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give too much away because I would be speculating because nobody's really told me too much about it, though. Christopher, please.
Hello, at first. On Monday starts my new work. Yes.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you. The unemployment has now ended after 5 months. Yeah. 14,500 applications versus, but okay. So I have some questions. Also number one, Steve, could you invite somebody again from the abstract once LunaSky is online? Because I know from the last meeting, somebody told that they will progress with Lucro once LunaSky is online.
So yeah, I remember Colin Rose talking about that, and I don't think it's just like a switch that gets flipped as soon as Lunar is launched. I think there's some back-end work that has to happen. I don't know, Cody Rocket, if you want to maybe speak to that. I'm more than happy to bring him up when they're ready.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's going to be a lot of back end work to that. I mean, obviously, there's contracts involved, and they've got their whole platform, their metaverse, their however they want to do things. So yeah, it'll be great to hear from their perspective, some of the inner aspects of that build. That's exciting.
Yes,
yeah, I can't wait.
An update would be interesting. How will it be once LunaSky is online? Now, a question to you, Cody. I'm very happy to see that progress came this week. Do you think in the next 2 weeks LunaSky is online? And what I would like to ask further is about staking. Will you change the taxation again in this moment? Because look, we have currently from one deal what Sam made, some trillion coins that shall be staked. However, this has to be refilled and refilled and refilled. How shall this be done? And second, if there is a tax change, will be a burn element again inside in EverGrow? Yep. Or is this now forever over? This is so my two questions. And yes, let's hope it gets going well. I hope really EverGrow will jump 3 zeros back. Yes. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. No, I think I'm following the questions. I'll start with LunaSky. Well,
Sam actually put out a tweet about that not long.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
This was yesterday, the day before. He said, "I'm being 100% honest when I say that not even the team knows at this point we will hit the end of Q launch deadline for LunaSky NFT. Whether we go live in the next 24 hours or a day or so late, I can unequivocally say that Cody Black and Rocket EGC, the devs and our community testers and artists have given this 100% for a full year now. They deserve all the credit in the world for never giving up and pushing through all the challenges and frustrations. They have built something very special that we intend to grow into one of the world's best NFT marketplaces and definitely the most project artist friendly. I am so proud of this team, and we are just getting started."
Yeah. So, Christopher, my friend, I love it. Every week, Christopher asks, "Is it going to come out? And can you tell us the date?" And I have to applaud his diligence with that. But you know us pretty well, my friend, and you know that we will not put a date on it.
No, not a date. Not a date. A feeling. A feeling. Would you say in 2 weeks?
If I put a feeling out there, I'm setting an expectation. I'll give you my traditional response to that. Things are going really well. Early onboarding is awesome. We've been speaking about that a little bit earlier before you came in. I'll just quickly reiterate. A lot of folks are getting on the platform. They're learning about the platform. We're still doing some back-end work, of course, as that's happening. We're in a great spot, a really good spot. And when it is ready, it will come out, my friend. Now, taxation on EverGrow. Will the tax ever change? That is, we'll just have to wait and see. We're going to do what is the best thing to do for the community, right? Sam is going to make the right decision for us at the right time, just like how he went from 14% to 5%. He did that because he knew that was the best decision for us then. Will it ever change again? If it needs to, it totally will. If it doesn't, it won't.
But how do you fill the staking then in this moment? Because there are only some trillion coins. I know from Sam Steele on Maze that he made that some coins were burned and some should be for staking. So there are 7 trillion coins around, if I'm correct. The question is now how you refill this everything in the staking again, that they are not empty, because I imagine there will be a lot of people who will stake. So I have to ask, which element are you using to fill these coins again?
Yeah, it's a good question. Can't give you an answer to it right now because it all is going to depend on how things go once staking is live. Then we're going to have to determine if the pools need to start to be refilled, how we may do that kind of thing. So, yeah.
If I remember correctly, when a whale got bought out, there was 12 trillion that were allocated for staking as rewards. And the number, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, something around that number, yeah.
So, that's a lot of tokens. So how that's going to look, and again, if you don't really know what the rewards are going to be like yet, it would be premature to even speculate, right? I don't know. I don't want to say anything more, but I commend you for trying to wear him down. I really do.
And
I think Cody said it best in a trace.
And one thing in the final, I would like to ask whether you could use this when LunaSky is online. Can you make something like monthly financial or quarterly financial reports that we know how much will be burned from this rewards? This would be interesting too. This was already this week interesting. I started the discussion in the Discord chat. I thought I wanted to propose that you could make there something that the people have more transparency. Yes, so this is only that we know how much can be burned. Yes, and how was the income situation?
Yeah, that's a good question too, and it's great feedback. Certainly, we'll shoot that up the chain to Sam. As far as the burn goes, that's public; you can see it anyways. But I think we've always tried to put out messages about burns going on, so I don't see why that would be any different going forward.
Yeah, and Sam has said many times that the plan is to be transparent, and to give people the information that he wants to run EverGrow like his traditional finance businesses, and that transparency is at the heart of that. So there's no reason to think that he would do anything different. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on the job, man. Really happy for you.
Congrats,
You are
Christopher.
a very, very persistent guy.
Yeah,
And
congratulations.
congratulations.
But it's not anymore a full law job, but better than nothing. Because look, I want to apply in the UK in 2 years my naturalization, yes, to get English citizenship, so that I can get my pre-settled status. You can say to a permanent resident right, yes, what I got before England left the European Union, because I came under the old law. Yes, this means I didn't need a visa. The thing in this matter is now, okay, I said now I take this job before I have no job, yes, and that I can apply next year. The settled status, this is then indefinite leave to remain, forever staying, and 1 year later I want to apply the citizenship. Originally I wanted to America, but the immigration laws are too strict, yes, and good, and so I said go to England, this is like America.
Very good. Well, I hope the job goes well starting Monday. So we're wishing you good luck. Hope it works very well for you, man. Really do. Yeah, Chompies, man. I wanted to say.
This will be my sign off here. I hate leaving. I feel like I've been in a room with friends for the last couple hours, and it's always that awkward part where you leave. I always hate just dropping down and leaving without saying bye. So again, Steve, you navigated this extremely long space well. We had a lot of awesome conversations. Obviously, I was intrigued and came into the room because I saw the FRG bat logo, the bat symbol thrown out, and the LunaSky news with FRG is obviously huge for us and Chompies. Moving forward with our ecosystem, it being kind of a mainstay of our ecosystem, the gaming side, and also in some of the other aspects. I appreciate you giving me the platform to talk about us and talk about kind of the heart and soul of our project and why we started. Steve, you've been great, gracious, and I obviously appreciate the time. And Cody, I look forward to you guys and what you guys are putting out, what you guys are producing. A lot of great minds and business people in this space, and a lot of good conversations with friends. And I appreciate you all again, and looking forward to the future. And I'll be in touch with you guys. And again, that's good people, good communities, good builders, people that are here for the right reasons. Got to stick together. And again, I appreciate the time and love you guys, and good luck.
Yeah, man, great connecting with you. I've got to sign off too, so I'll just go ahead and say my goodbyes to everybody. So great chatting with you, Chompy, and everyone else 2 times, and everyone from Plague. Steve, as always, we love you, man. You are the best, absolutely. Thank you for everything. All my fellow friends out there, I love you all. Y'all have a fantastic night. I won't hold things up here. Y'all take care.
Thank you, Chompies. Thank you, Cody. Thank you so much. Can't wait for the next one. Appreciate it. Moon, please.
So we're wrapping this up. I just wanted to say something important regarding LunaSky, because I know everybody is, expecting the release, and everybody wants to know dates and all of that. So I just want to say a couple things. They are not. So I'm part of the early onboarding, like many of us here, and yes, as early onboarders, we have a better look than most people who aren't. So I can confidently say LunaSky is not out because LunaSky is not ready. If it was, you'd be on it right now. They are not holding that back. Trust me. Rocket, Cody, and everybody else wants that thing released as soon as freaking possible. But there's always that little thing, that little issue, that little thing, little tiny things that have, potential to really, not have, a perfect experience that can hinder, your usage of LunaSky. We don't want to release it like that. That's not, that's not the quality that we want. So the reason why it's not out yet, it's quite simply, because it's not ready. It's almost there. We're freaking touching the freaking sky on it, but it's not ready. But as soon as it is, it will be out. I guarantee you.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, I really, really appreciate it. We're all curious. We all want to know what progress is like, but right now it's just we can't see. You're lucky that you can actually kind of see behind the curtain and how things are progressing, and just the screenshots that I've seen. I mean, kind of blown away just how crisp and clean and well organized everything is, and I think it's worth the wait personally. When it's ready, and everybody will love it. So, but it's not just another NFT marketplace, right? Anybody can make an NFT marketplace. but it's really at the core of what LunaSky is about community, supporting each other. And royalties is part of that. I think OpenSea, Rarible did a huge disservice to their community by eliminating royalties. This is a venture capital company. They're profiting from NFTs, from the trade of NFTs, right? And there's nothing wrong with them wanting to be in that space. They want to make a business model out of it, by all means, right? But I think they forgot what it's all about, what brought them those riches. And I think we need to get back to the community, back to the people, and support each other, and just be true to what we are. And LunaSky is, like I said, all about community. That's what we're here for. And
I think, Steve, what made it worse about Rarible and even Blur and OpenSea to a degree is these changes with the royalties and even fees that they applied that they didn't need to do. See, that's in my eyes. That's what makes it so much worse. Is they didn't need to do that, but they still did it, right? It's like if you do, Uber, right? You don't have to charge for the air inside your car for the people you're driving, but you could. So that's what they did, and that's why it's so ultimately so bad, and so disheartening.
Years ago, Uber wanted to compete in China. And there was already a rideshare service there. So what they did is they undercut the competition severely in order to gain market share. So they wanted to give people, basically free rides, right, in order to get market share. But here in the US, what they did, and elsewhere in the world, is they jacked up the rates in order to make up for those losses. So they are essentially, it was about gaining market share and growing. They saw the competition from other NFT marketplaces. They were losing market share. And the only way that they could see, the easiest way, was to take from you, the creator. That was a huge mistake and a huge disservice, because it's those creators that brought them millions and millions of dollars. It's really, yeah, I'm being kind when I say it's a disservice, because
you are being kind. Absolutely.
And it's just too bad. And I think as long as they keep making moves like that, they want to be number one, they want to stay at number one. Maybe they always will be. I don't know. But yeah, I think there's so much room to do better. That's why we're here, is to do better. I wanted to touch base before we close out the space, because we haven't really talked much about the other utility. Currently in beta, I'm one of the beta testers for Atlas Wallet, which is a DeFi wallet. We're on version 20 right now. I can't believe how far we've come on this beta test. We got a bunch of people here that are testing, that are actually in the audience right now. So yeah, V20 right now. Working hard to really find a lot of those bugs. I wish I could be more involved in that, but I'm just so busy. I've seen the progress kind of over time. And the fraction of the issues that I'm seeing now are just like nowhere near what they were. I mean, before it was just, there were so many little issues, niggly-nagglies. There are a couple of big things, right? But for the most part, I think they were resolved. I think now it's kind of more of a user interface kind of thing. I can't go into detail. I haven't been told that I can release any information, but you guys are going to love it. Absolutely love it. What are the features, in case you haven't really heard of it before? So you're going to have a watch only wallet feature. So you can actually keep an eye on let's say a whale. You want to watch what a whale's doing, right? You can actually watch a particular whale in your wallet. And if you see buys, sells, you can get notification. Great tool. So maybe you can try and stay ahead of the curve a little bit. Buy direct to wallet feature, which is really great. So you can actually buy a crypto, send it to a wallet, and not have to really interact with that wallet. You're just basically sending it buy direct to that wallet. Really, really good feature. You can actually have 50 basically wallets integrated into Atlas Wallet. So you got lots of room. The one I'm the most excited about is the off-ramp solutions. That's always been a thorn in the side of DeFi. So it's being tested right now, and you can actually off-ramp your funds. To my knowledge, you don't even need to convert your funds. Let's say you got BTC, you can off-ramp that BTC right to your bank account. And
that's so nice.
Right, and you don't have to swap it over or nothing. It will automatically do it. and you will have your money in minutes, not hours, not days, minutes. You will actually have the money in your account before you get the email notification that it's there. This is a game changer, really. This is hard work that the team has done to build these solutions. The direct bill pay from your wallet, I thought that was really cool. You can make car payments, mortgage payments, all within your Atlas wallet. Cable bills, stuff like that, all within the wallet. I think is pretty fantastic. Of course, you can have your NFTs in there as well. Just so many unique features to this wallet that I think will set it apart from Trust Wallet and MetaMask by far. Fully functional Chrome extension. I would love to. Haven't got a chance to look at that yet, but it's not your basic MetaMask extension. Fully functional. I'd love to check that out, and it's going to be available on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. So, yeah, and Drakefist actually said confirmed. Yeah, I don't need to swap anything to off ramp. So this is a huge time saver. And probably a big money saver because now you're not doing two transactions, you're just doing one. So yeah, do you guys have any questions about that at all? Because Atlas Wallet is pretty exciting. I mean, all the utilities are exciting in their own way, but that's the one that's got to be the most excited. You're more than welcome to come up. I'm going to open this up.
I just want them to get it right, Steve. I want them to, not rush. It's so important. It's such an important utility, especially with the new technologies it's going to implement. We don't want to screw this up. So again, a lot of people may be, upset when I say this, but I personally, I wouldn't care if it took them another quarter. I wouldn't. It's that important. We only get one chance, people. And I do not want to screw that up. If it ain't ready, it ain't ready. Please make it good. Make it better. Make it even better for the competition if you can. Or if you can't, then make it match. And until then, I'll gladly wait.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think it's interesting. Before you got a chance to kind of get behind the scenes, what was your impression, if you can go into the things that you really liked about it, without giving anything away, of course? Was there anything in particular that you were pleasantly surprised by, or was it the UI that you liked, or
on Atlas?
I'm talking about LunaSky.
Oh, LunaSky. It is, first of all, it's a big jump from the first LunaSky. That's the first. How it looks, obviously, looks beautiful, but most importantly, the way it functions is ultimately far better and far more. It functions as it should, whereas the old LunaSky really didn't. So there's so many improvements, both on the back end and on the front end, and on everything really, that really make all the difference. And I can't wait. I really can't wait.
It's really. It's kind of, I wish I could get in behind the scenes and just kind of see what it looks like and work with it. But I think for me, the visual interface is probably the most convincing thing that I really like. I like things to look nice. I'm sorry, I'm just just gonna say it, but it also has to work well. And I really appreciate you guys sticking with it and just not releasing a product that's 80% ready, because we need it to be 100%. And I know we've been there before. And back in June we were talking about where we are at, and you guys had full confidence that we'd have it done pretty soon, and things happen. I get it, and I appreciate that you didn't bend to the pressure, and you stuck to it, and you said, no, we're not giving you timelines. We're just going to get this done. We're going to get it done right. So I want to thank you guys for doing that. I know Cody just dropped off, but Rocket, hopefully you're still there and you can hear that. One thing I did want to cover before we're done here. There's a really interesting, we always, like I said, talk about Bitcoin. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting is the different positions that people take on Bitcoin. Is it gonna rally, or is this bull market or bear market gonna persist, right? And it's interesting to get different perspectives. Some people say, well, Bitcoin halving next year, usually in the fall, that's when you start to see a rally. But also we've got, the deadline to a government shutdown happening. This is such a dynamic environment to be able to really accurately predict what's going to happen. I think it's It's difficult at best at times. This article came from Cointelegraph by William Suberg. Bitcoin price posted best September since 2016 as BTC sellers eye 27.5K. Bitcoin remains on track to produce surprisingly solid September performance, but BTC remains down over 11% in Q3. So data from Cointelegraph Market Pro and TradingView tracked a cooling off period for BTC price action ahead of the key September candle print. The largest cryptocurrency remained up nearly 4% month to date, making it the most successful September since 2016 per data from monitoring sources CoinGlass. Conversely, the quarter performance for Q3 showed BTC USD down 11.5 at the time of writing. For traders and analysts, everything could change in the final hours of the monthly trading candle. In the past, in the past, a green September resulted in green October, November, and December as well. Popular trader Gel noted in part of the day's Twitter analysis, and he actually put out a tweet. The day prior, Gel predicted a better condition for Q4, including a breakout past 30,000 for the first time since early August. So, but somebody else says this is textbook bearish technicals. Monit longer and short-term timeframes beyond the monthly and weekly close, the impending U.S. states government shutdown could continue to suppress BTC price action unless a solution is found in time. This is from Materials Indicator at MI_algos. We're heading into the last trading day of the month with textbook bearish technicals from the key moving averages on daily, weekly, and monthly TFs, and trend precognition is flashing a new hashtag trade signals on the BTC daily chart, as if it knows we have a looming US shutdown. There is a high probability that killer whales will be amping up the weekend whale games around daily, weekly, monthly candle closes. Don't get lured into the trap. Part of the additional commentary from Materials Indicator co-founder Keith Allen read, a snapshot of BTC USD order book on the largest global exchange, Binance, showed bid liquidity congregating around 26.8. Sellers, meanwhile, lay in wait at 27.5. Others, such as popular trader Dan Crypto Trades, expected less volatility conditions until immediately before the new week. We've had volatility last week, but open interest has cooled down, so I doubt we'll get any strange price action until maybe later on Sunday, he told Twitter X subscribers on the day. An accompanying chart showed the CME Group Bitcoin futures opening and closing prices potentially acting as a magnet for BTC spot price, a common phenomena. It's all over the place. Anybody who tells you what they think, where it's going to go, don't really know. Can't really plan for that. It's tough to know. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Moon? Do you think we're going to continue bearish, or do you think we're in the tail end of
it? I mean, like we've discussed many times, especially regarding Bitcoin and crypto in general. But Bitcoin's the daddy of all of us. So when it goes up, brings everything up. When it goes down, it brings everything down. We're in a bear market, right? I mean, you could do as much technical analysis as you want. That will only, give you a little bit of a view into what's actually happening. I mean, unless, none of us have a crystal ball, and unless you do, then you can't really know when, right? That's the fulcral point is when. When are we going to go up? Well, I don't know when, but I do know one thing, is that it will. And I think that's the most crucial and most important thing is crypto always bounces back, folks. Always. There is no question about that. Bitcoin will come back, and with Bitcoin, we'll drag everything else back, and we'll be in a bull market again. No question. When? I don't know when. I just know it will happen. Could be tomorrow, could be next week, could be next month, could be next year, could be 2 years from now. Let's hope not, but it could be. And this is cycles, just like you see in everything else. And I think this is all very well explained just by the concept of scared money. That's what this bear market has been. It's scared money. I mean, look at what we've been through since 2022 and 2023. Banks shutting down. Everything from Celsius to 3 Arrows Capital to the freaking FTX disaster, one after another, after another, after another. When those ended, you started seeing the SEC and Gary Gensler. Every time crypto got a little bit of a headroom and started going up, some crazy news came out that the SEC was suing somebody. So what you've seen is over the past almost 2 years is every time crypto starts to get a little bit more bullish, something happens without fail that brings the confidence down again. And that will at some point stop happening. Unfortunately, until now, it hasn't. Something always happens. But that can't keep going forever. And when that stops happening, the bullish market will return. Now, I don't know when that will be, but I do know it will be.
One thing that I kind of follow is mining, crypto mining, right? And I know that when crypto is down, you can pick up miners for pretty cheap. But the people who are mining aren't stopping mining, even though it may not necessarily be profitable right now. What you're doing is you're mining all those tokens at a loss, right? Potentially, but you're hodling because you know the market's going to return.
Yes.
Bitcoin mining is expanding rapidly. People are still doing it. There's major money in Bitcoin mining. So, they wouldn't be throwing millions of dollars into miners and the electricity and the solar that's going into there if they thought it was a losing proposition. They know that this is going to go up. It's inevitable. It's just inevitable. At some point, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other miners in here, but shout out to you guys. I've been looking at Caspa mining, actually. I'm about 4 months behind the curve on that one. I don't know why I didn't notice Caspa, but I'm tempted to pick up one.
If you're looking at mining equipment, Steve, get it now. And honestly, this goes for everybody else that is, thinking to even get into that in the near future. Because once that bull market comes, my friend, graphics cards and processors will 10x in price, like we've seen in 2020 and 2021. Of course, COVID also had a big hand in that, but you'll see it like you've never seen it before. I mean, if you at any point are trying to get into that, get your gear now. Truly get your gear now, because it will be bank breaking if you wait too long.
And the best advice I can give you if you're going to mine, you don't have to be loyal to one particular token. If you want to mine Doge, go for it. If you think it's going to be profitable at some point, my advice is, do your research, find your best cost benefit analysis, ASIC miner value. I go there a lot to kind of price out miners to see what's good. I mined helium at the very beginning, and I did really, really well off helium. I wasn't as early as some other people, but I still did pretty good. For a $400 miner, I basically easily 10x that, no problem. And there's a lot of potential in mining. People look at you a little weird when you got miners all over the place, but ultimately you're kind of hedging your bet there when you mine. So yeah, I highly encourage you guys to get into that. Just be careful. There's a lot of scam websites out there that will offer you a miner, and they're not legit. They're just going to take your money. So
there's nothing wrong with it, even if you have rigs everywhere. There's nothing wrong with that. It's part of hustling. It's feeding your family and doing what you have to do.
Yeah, I was mining ETH there before the merge. So, and I loved it. It was great. It was great.
Before the board. Yeah. I see.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of fun. I had 8 GPUs going on at one time. Yeah, Hersan, please.
When the bull market comes, do you think we will know it? Because in my mind, it's gonna come like it's going up little by little, but it's not like it's gonna go 500% in one day, and people know, oh, finally it's here. For some people, it's just gonna be like, that's me thinking, like 3%, then goes down 0.5%, and so on, like a little stairs, that's gonna take some people by surprise, I guess, because I've never been in a bear market and then in a bull market. When I started this, I was in at the end of the bull market, and I remember it was up, then a little bit down, then up, then and so on, until one day everything started going down like waterfall.
The thing with knowing whether you're in a particular market condition, bull or bear, usually you don't know you're in it until you're in it. It's one of those things where you don't want to get caught buying in when the technicals have already been there, right? But you'll get a lot of disagreement. Just like I said, we get disagreement. We're in the bear market. People think the Bitcoin's going to do this, that. When we're in a bull market, there's people that are saying, look out, look out, look out, and it's going to drop. So you don't really know you're in it until you're in it. Now you could use those kind of technicals and say, okay, well, it's going to go to 32,000 and that's the number. And then you'll probably get 80% of people who will come, agree with you. And then the other 20 will say, no, it's going to go down. You don't really know. But if you're going to do your investing, now's the time when it's down. BNB, like for example, Binance isn't going anywhere. Binance is billions of dollars, and trading at 200. It just shocks me that it's 216 or something. It just shocks me that it's so low. And here it was not long ago. I mean, we were 6, 7, 100, 3 times that number. So, and you got to think what that's going to do for DeFi, right? Oh, bless you. Dog sneezing there. Think of any coin pairing that's related to ETH, BNB. If they go up, the rising tide lifts all boats, right? So you could see a 3x on your token, even though not necessarily anything's going on with your token, just because it went up 3 times, right? So yeah, it's tough to know. You don't, like I said, you're only going to know when you're in it.
Right. And I mean, sure. I mean, Gerson could be right. We could see this bull market and be more of a slow bull market, right? More of a, week on week, month on month, small increments, but slowly going up. And that could be the case. But honestly, that's not really the nature of it. Could happen, but that's not really the nature of crypto. The nature of crypto is usually a very explosive growth or a very explosive downwards. And that's the thing. If you are not ready, you already lost. And again, we're trying to predict things. I mean, listen, Walmart could adopt Bitcoin payments tomorrow, right? And Bitcoin would see a freaking explosive growth like we've never seen the likes of before, just because Walmart did that. Well, guess what? You're already late. See what I mean? So this stuff with trying to predict things, less of trying to predict and more be prepared for the what ifs. What if this happens? What if it really goes up tomorrow? What if the bull run really happens? Just be prepared, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah, I think you've got to decide who you want to align yourself with, and if you want to play it safe and go BTC or something like that. A lot of people, it's funny because people think there's more value in tokens with 7 zeros behind them because there's more. You drop a 0 and you have 10 extra money, right? So to 10x BTC, that's a lot of movement. That's a lot of, you know what I mean? But if you want to, I guess, assure yourself, go to what's safe, right? But 2Time, you want to speak about that?
Yeah, I'll do as best as I can not to show, but I said earlier, CK had helped me out early on. I also said I had faded Bitcoin in 2012, and my uncle who offered to me didn't, and he's extremely well off now and completely out of it, completely out of crypto. But regardless, like I said, I am not a shiller at all, but the moderator job I got was for CK and his partner's company they call Crypto Rudiments, and nobody can ever call the top or call the bottom, no matter what they say. But if anybody would like to be, so again, not to show, I'm trying to, you'll understand it when I'm done. So what I'm saying is, at first it was token gated with one NFT, then that project usurped it, and then it was an SaaS. We have every Monday night at 6:30, we have a market wrap up for half an hour on a space, and then a token gated Discord members only chat. And I said it earlier about CK, he's always available. Well, so is his name on Twitter is DW Drummer. His name's Greg. He's a gigabrain and invented this tool that is amazing. So the token gated system now is this thing called Duck Duck Goose. I happen to have, I don't know, 40 or 50 of them. If anybody would like to check out the Discord, the tool he created was called the Hive Mind. And it's like you can essentially position every single indicator and put a weight on it. So if you like one better than another, and this is me not being biased. I was into crypto in 2016, 17, got wrecked a little bit in 17, and then 18, DeFi, whatever, NFTs, 21, and again,
And how
totally.
many people told you crypto was dead in 2017, right?
Oh yeah, I was known as, so I used ADA real quick. I used ADA to purchase ETH, and then when ETH was $4,000, and then went back down, I was known as like the investor, the really smart investor at family functions. Like everybody, no one understood it. But what I'm getting at is, if anyone wants to DM me, I'll gladly send them a Duck Duck Goose NFT they can check out. I mean, this is stuff that is like, it's on TradingView and all that, and it's you don't necessarily have to stay, but I'm just trying to do my part because it's amazing. Imagine taking, I don't know how many like traders, whatever. Imagine taking every indicator, MACD, everything, and weighting the ones that you use more often, and then being able to switch that. It's just something that I truly believe that, like, wholeheartedly, that like people need to see. It's like, it's something I like genuinely think is like so undervalued, but it's not even that. It just was finished. But Greg is too modest to say this stuff about himself. But if anybody would like to check out the Discord, it's Crypto Rudiments LLC, and I'll send you the NFT free of charge. You can get into the members only chat, and no one's gonna bug you. It's like not a busy Discord. It's just for you to use the tools and everything like that. So it's not shilling at all. It's just CK and Drummer gave me the chance as a moderator, and then I ended up changing my life by, like being around them and just taking the information as the most important thing. Not the job as well, but the information was what I was there for. So if anybody is interested, any traders or anything, they can DM me and I'll send them the token gated.
Appreciate you sharing that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but I got to wrap up this space. I want to give a really, really warm shout out to you guys. Moon, especially, thank you for being here today, 2-time. Of course, LunaSky, Shaq, CK, Don, Moon, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the great conversation. Rocket, Cody, EverGrow Love, Herson, Christopher Eichner. Special thanks to the Space Riders, Sappy Seals, Doodles, and the Plague. Really appreciate you guys being here. Great conversation always. Give a shout out to the people who are still hanging in there. What do we got now? 2.5 hours later? No, 3.5 hours later. Crazy. Rick B, Hyper Beam, love you, man. Chessers, Michael Garber, Hawkish, Drakefist, thanks for the great work that you guys do over in Discord. Keeping it safe, keeping it real. Joel M and Sam, we trust. Will, Herson, Gratians, Big B, good to see you, man. Stin, and I hope I don't butcher your name, man. I'm really sorry if I do. Taxi Man, Dubsy, who else we got? Zarno, and we gotta scroll down just a little bit more. And Ape Whale NFT, Peekaboo Jesus, Rhino Tough, some new people here. Fabos and Mighty Mike, good to see you, man. And Crypto Cactus, haven't seen you in a long time, man. Welcome back. Fittest Alien, we got Joshua G, Ivan, good to see you too, man. Carl Meyer, Michael Chavez, Silvic, and finally, we got here, Mooksimus. Thanks for being here today. Really appreciate you sharing your Saturday. Let's do this again on next Saturday. I think we might have the same time. I'm pretty sure we're at the same time. Gonna have a special guest coming in, hopefully. And a reminder, in, I believe, 2 weeks' time, I'm going to bring on a special guest, from the DeFi Education Fund. They are a lobbying organization on the behalf of DeFi, and they're going to share what they've been working on. They actually filed a brief. It's called what is the technical term now? Amicus brief with I think it was the Southern District of New York in the case of the SEC versus Coinbase. And that gets accepted to the judge. The judge gets to use that as evidence and prove why the SEC is out to lunch. So
nice. Yeah, that will be very interesting to have them on.
yeah, great guys. So look forward to that. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that. So thank you again, guys, for being here on this space. Really appreciate it. Such a great discussion. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next Saturday. Thanks for now, guys.
Bye, guys.
Lots of love to you guys, man.